Welcome to Los Angeles for CCL Baseball on the Forster Radio Network. Today we have a Sunday afternoon matchup between the Santa Barbara Forsters and the MLB Academy Barons. I'm Hunter Shoemaker alongside Nate Martin, and thanks for joining us on your Sunday afternoon. Well, Nate, it's been a perfect start for the Stars, starting 2-0, but both the games that they have won have been won in different ways. Game 1 was highlighted by excellent pitching, and yesterday the offense came alive.
Well, let's see if they can put it together today, Hunter. 16 hits yesterday for this lineup, and a couple of changes from Pintard, bringing in a couple guys who did not really get to play too much yesterday, but I'm excited to see what they can do if they can kind of string together some more hits. Good job. They did a really good job of working walks, yesterday as well. So that's definitely something to pay attention to offensively for the Foresters.
Both the Stars and the Barons will be playing their third games of this young CCL season. Stars entering today a perfect 2-0, one of just two teams still left in the CCL between the North and South divisions that are still undefeated, and the Barons entering today 1-1. We'll step aside starting lineups for the Stars, and the first pitch coming up right after this. We welcome you back to the MLB Academy in Compton, California. Here is the starting lineup today for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Leading off and in center field, Maddox Mandino. Batting second and in left, Sawyer Farr. Batting third and at third base, Easton Muma. Bat cleanup and at first, Caleb Hoover to bat fifth. And in right field, Brenton Clark. In the sixth spot, the shortstop, Easton Ruley. The seventh man in the order, the DH, Brady Dallimore. To bat eighth, the catcher, Vince Gambardella. And the nine-hole hitter will be Liam Keithley, the second baseman. And they'll be facing a starting right-handed pitcher, Braden Wellen, a man who plays and just finished up his sophomore year with the Golden West CC.
Yeah, Braden Wellen, tall right-hander, 6'3", 200 pounds. Very solid season over with Golden West College. You know, did a good job of limiting his walks. Only one walk the entire season in 15 innings. So solid command, has a decent strikeout stuff as well. You're looking at a 2-pitch mix with a fastball and a sweeper. That fastball going to reach up to 90. So, and he has a little bit of movement as well with a cutter sort of movement. So definitely a challenging guy for the Foresters to face. But if there's any lineup in the CCL that could do it, it's the Stars lineup. Had 16 hits yesterday against the Conejo Oaks. Fantastic performance. And a lot of that because of the man who's about to bat first, Maddox Mandino.
And by the way, the starter for the Stars today, Kaimi Kahahili, will be the starting pitcher for the Stars. But yes, Maddox Mandino, he'll be leading off. He's gone 5 for 11 in his first 2 contests with the Stars and have brought in 4 runs, the leadoff man for Santa Barbara.
And what that tells me, he's been the consistent leadoff batter, and yet he still leads the Foresters in RBI. That's not always a typical thing, and that tells you that this Foresters lineup is deep from top to bottom. They do a really good job, especially at the back end of the order, getting guys on base. And Mandino, because he's just so good at getting on base, as you said, 455 average this season, just does a really good job of driving those guys in.
And here comes Maddox with the Stars wearing the maroon tops and gray bottoms today, as there was some heavy cloud cover over Santa Barbara and even the greater Los Angeles area, but it's starting to burn off and some blue skies starting to creep through here at the MLB Academy. Thanks for joining us on the Forster Radio Network. The Stars, one of just 2 teams still left in the CCL that are undefeated. The other team in the affiliate, the San Diego Waves. But here is Maddox Mandino, who will bat from the left side. He stands in and he'll face Braden Wellen, the right-handed pitcher for MLB Academy. Here comes the first pitch, and it's a fastball right down the middle for strike number 1. Braden Wellen standing at 6'3", 200 pounds on the bump for the Barons. Fired a first pitch, fastball strike. The standout man, Maddox Mandino. Here comes the second pitch, and it's lined down the left field line into the corner. Some extra bases coming up for Mandino. Big wide turn around first base, and he is going to third base after a big turn from second, trying to stretch it, and then slides in head first. A leadoff triple for Maddox Mandino, and the Stars picking up right where they left off yesterday.
And that is why Mandino is batting leadoff. You saw the speed. You saw the ability to get on base. Just sends that one into opposite field, just down the foul line, stays fair, nice sound off the bat, and is able to go from first to third, all the way to third base on the hit where maybe not everyone can reach that. Sometimes you might have just settled for a stand-up double, but for Mandino, really good job.
It looks like that ball went out of play in the corner, and Bill Pintard appearing out of the first base dugout to get an explanation from our home plate umpire, but they're going to send Maddox back to second. A little unfortunate if that ball did get lodged down under the padding and time was being called, so Maddox will be given a leadoff double after he was able to stretch all the way for a triple. So regardless, the leadoff man in scoring position for the Stars to bring up the switch hitter Sawyer Farr to bat from the left side. And Santa Barbara strike first here in the opening inning. Here comes the pitch. There goes Maddox Mandino off to third base. Not a clean transfer. No throw down by Isaac Ocampo. Could not get a clean transfer from the glove to the throwing hand, so didn't get the triple because the ball went out of play. Gets a stolen base instead.
You just kind of had a feeling that was going to come there, Hunter. You just knew they wanted to get that base back.
So first pitch was missed to Sawyer Farr. So it's now 1-0. Here's the second pitch, and the fastball is going to skip under the legs of the catcher. Maddox Mandino is going to cruise in home on a wild pitch, and just like that, through one batter, Santa Barbara leads 1-0 over MLB.
That's where the aggressive base running to steal third pays off because, you know, that kind of gets in the pitcher's head and forces Wellen to miss low. Catcher unable to retrieve it for the Barons, and instead 1-0 early advantage to the Stars.
So the count now 2-0 after a couple errant pitches by Braden Wellen. Here's the third pitch, and this fastball will clip the outer half at the knees for strike 1 on Sawyer. Stars leading 1-0. Mandino plates the first run, and just the second batter at the plate now for Santa Barbara. Here is the 2-1 pitch. Fastball is fouled off halfway up the screen, directly behind the plate. 2-2 to Sawyer Farr.
Way to get back in the count for Welland. You know, he saw a run come across the plate because of a wild pitch of his, and he's able to just bounce back, attack the zone, and even the count back up at 2 apiece.
Next man on deck will be Easton Mumma. But right now it's 2-2 for Sawyer Farr, and the right-hander winds up the pitch. Here's the delivery, and the sweeper's going to miss away, full count. First time Welland has gone to the sweeper. It's been all fastballs so far against Mandino and Farr. Already run in for Santa Barbara, just underway here in the first. From the belt, Welland. Payoff pitch to Farr. Fouls off the fastball, directly behind the plate. Still 3-2. Easton Mumma stands on deck on the first base side of the park. Then will be Caleb Hoover. Still nobody out, and the base is clear. After Mandino had the leadoff double, stolen base, and scoring on a wild pitch. Welland comes set, winds up the 3-2 to Sawyer. Fastball swing and a miss, and Farr goes down swinging, 1 out in the first.
Yeah, tough one there. Farr try to get all of it and just barely missed it. Well-located fastball from Braden Welland.
Gives some information to Mumma and Hoover about what to expect, what they're about to stand in against Braden Welland. Picks up his first strike on the first out of his outing. That's another lefty he's going to be facing, Easton Mumma, who has been fantastic in the first 2 games. Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball grounded over to short range into his right as Akiyama, the shortstop, and the throw to first in time. 1 pitch, and Easton Mumma grounds out, 2 out in the first.
That's exactly what Mumma has been able to do all season, put bat to ball. That time just goes to the shortstop for the Barons, but he's been one of the leading hitters for the first 2 games for the Stars.
Yeah, with 5 hits, both him and Maddox with 5 knocks. Well, Maddox now with that leadoff double with 6, but what a fantastic start from the top 3 batters in this lineup. Sawyer Farr also knocking 4 hits so far, but that's going to bring up Caleb Hoover with 2 out. Base is cleared, and the Stars leading 1-0. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be the sweeper clipping the outside edge for strike 1.
It's big for Welland to find the zone on the off speed, especially on the first pitch of the at-bat. Really can confuse the batter.
And you look at the lineup today, lefty switch hitter, lefty, lefty, lefty. Top 5 in the order. Here's the 0-1. Fastball is spoiled over the third base dugout, where the Barons are housed here at the MLB Academy. And Caleb Hoover falls behind 0-2 against Welland.
That's something we've seen a lot from Pintard for the first 3 games, is really relying on lefties, even if they are going up against a lefty starter. This time, of course, Welland is the right-hander.
Yeah, a lot of lefties, especially yesterday. But a couple changes in the lineup. Here's the 0-2 now to Hoover, who has to shorten up, but the fastball is going to miss away. That's ball 1.
Hoover did a really good job yesterday, drew a couple of walks against the Oaks. So it shows that he's able to take his time and fight back in counts like this one.
Yeah, good eye from Hoover, especially in that middle stretch of the game yesterday against the Oaks. But now the 1-2 pitch, fastball is just fouled back, and it looks like it deflected off the glove and rolls towards the third base dugout. But Hoover stays alive, base is cleared, 2 out. Santa Barbara leading 1-0, just in the top of the first. It's been a great start for Santa Barbara today. Even yesterday, they conceded the first run to Conejo, but then ended up winning 14-5. Put up 7 runs in the 5th inning yesterday, and off to a great start today. Welland comes set, and the 1-2 pitch now to Hoover. And the sweeper's going to miss away, 2-2.
But I have to really commend how Welland's kind of come back here after allowing the leadoff man to score, mostly because, you know, you missed some of your pitches. You've been able to come back and attack the zone and get a couple of outs, now down to the final strike of the inning. And he complete the job.
Coming from the belt, the right-handed starting pitcher, the 2-2 pitch to Hoover is fouled off. Big looping foul ball over the third base dugout, and that falls in a ravine to our left here. More of a flood channel that runs down the left field line here at the MLB Academy. And we are on the campus of Compton College down in the Los Angeles area, making the trip down south for the 3rd straight day for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Not nearly as far as Orange County, as opening day was 2 days ago. But after a run in, 2 out, and the base is clear, another 2-2 pitch to Hoover. Here it is. Fastball is off, 1 hop to the shortstop who backhands it, and the throw to first was in time, and Hoover will ground out, and the side retired. But Santa Barbara and Maddox Mandino plate the first run, go to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara lead 1-0 over the Barons.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
The Sturs lead 1-0, and Kaimi Kahalikai, the starting pitcher for the Sturs, the big man, 6'8", 220, will get the start. The Long Beach State Dirtbag.
Yeah, Kahalikai, the tallest player on both the Sturs and Long Beach State roster by a good margin as well. So intimidating to step into the batter's box and see this guy standing 6'8" tall. You could say he's playing the wrong sport, but it's been working pretty well for him so far. Made 16 appearances with the Dirtbags, had a couple of starts as well. Excited to see what he can do today for the Sturs on the mound.
He's going to be facing the top three, Nathaniel Williams, Antonio Lujan, and Gavin Taylor in the defense behind Kahalikai. Mumon will be at third, Rulli at short, Keithley at second, Hoover is at first. Vince Gambardella is the catcher. Here comes the first pitch, and it's a fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. Sawyer Farr is in left field, and we've seen him in the infield the last 2 days. Maddox Mandino is in center. Brenton Clark out in right. So a couple changes defensively is now the 0-1. A swing and a miss off speed there from Kahalikai, and he's quickly ahead, 0-2. Notably, Keithley at second. Sawyer Farr has been the shortstop and second baseman, out and left. Kaimi, the big right-hander ahead, 0-2, and here comes the pitch to Williams, and fastball will miss away. That is ball one.
I think the most notable thing about this field for the Stars is that it's the third different catcher we've seen Pintard use in 3 days. Gambardella getting his name called.
1-2 pitch is chopped a high hopper to the first baseman, fielding it right under the glove, but it squirts under the glove of Caleb Hoover, the first baseman. And that will roll a third of the way down the right field line, but scooping it up is Liam Keithley. So the leadoff man aboard, Nathaniel Williams, and it's going to go down as an infield single. That was a massive hop, and Hoover charged and tried to field it right at first base and just went under his glove.
Really tough play to make there for Hoover. Still kind of adjusting to being back in that game tempo, obviously coming back from a broken hand that he suffered in April.
So Williams is aboard. Will go down as an infield single. Now we'll bring up Antonio Lujan. Sturs lead 1-0, bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Fastball is in there, 0-1. Kaimi Kahalikai, you did mention a couple of the starts, did pick up 2 saves with Long Beach State this past season. Beach playing, the Dirtbags baseball team, as they are referred to, or Long Beach. Play out the Big West. Here's the next pitch, and it's going to miss away on the fastball, 1-1.
Yeah, one of those saves came in his first game back in the state of Hawaii. Of course, he's from Maui. Tired 2 batters on 8 pitches for his first ever career save.
Kahalikai comes set working from the first base side of the hill. Man at first, the 1-1 pitch is sprayed off over the third base dugout. Again, into that ravine that goes parallel down the left field line. Probably a lot of baseballs get found down there to the left of this field.
Although I don't know if you really want to venture down the ravine.
I don't think so, no. Man at first, Third baseman Easton Mumau, who has had a fantastic start defensively and at the plate, pinched in a fraction at third. Caleb Hoover is holding on to the man at first. A little shimmy shake off of first base and a check to the runner. He's in safely head first. And Antonio Lujan, who is at the plate, batting second, the switch hitter, batting from the left side. He's gone 1 for 5 in the 2 games played so far for the Barons. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the ground up the middle. Might have deflected off the pitcher. They flipped to second, getting out to first base in time. Fantastic turn on the infield. The shortstop fielded it directly behind second base. It's going to go down 6-4-3 between Ruley, Keithley, and Hoover.
We've seen the Stars turn a couple of double plays this season already. That might have been the most difficult one they've had so far. Quick play, well done by the middle of the infield to flip that quickly to second, toss it over to Hoover to get the final out. Hoover kind of had to stretch out for it. It was a bang-bang play at first, but they managed to get that out.
And that erases the leadoff base hit by Williams. Base is now clear. Here's the first pitch. Is a fastball down for ball 1 against Gavin Taylor, who is serving as the DH today for the Barons. Taylor takes a moment, the right-handed bat, and here comes the 1-0 pitch. And this time it's in there on a fastball to even the count at 1 against Taylor.
He was actually ahead on the count here, 0-2. Taylor, led Los Angeles Valley College in average this past season. Very impressive. 1-1.
Here's the pitch, and the fastball is in there on the inside edge. Ball and 2 strikes against the DH, who has gone 0 for 3 so far for the Barons. And as a team, the first 2 contests, MLB Academy hitting .273. But with 2 out, and the base is clear. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Taylor. Fastball skipped wildly past the plate. Bounced about 2 feet in front of the dish. It's 2-2.
That's when the double play becomes so crucial, because if you didn't get one of those 2 guys off, that would have been a free base to take for one of the runners on. Instead, nobody on.
Stars are leading by a run. We are in the bottom of the first. And with 2 out, the 2-2 pitch to Taylor. High fastball. Full count. Infield straight away, as is the outfield. Remember Sawyer Farr, who was playing in the middle infield, out in left field today. Both the corner infielders playing back near the outfield grass. But with 2 out, payoff pitch, swing and a miss. It's the fastball from Kahali Kai, and he will retire the side. Only has to face 3 in the first. Go to the second. Santa Barbara lead 1-0 over MLB Academy.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back on the campus of Compton College, and the Stars will have 5, 6, 7 coming up to face Braden Welling, the starting pitcher for the MLB Academy Barons. Santa Barbara is leading 1-0 into the top of the second inning. Brenton Clark bats from the left side. Sun's starting to creep out. Most of the cloud cover disappearing at this point. And here comes the first pitch. Is a fastball grounded over to the shortstop. Backhands it off of 2 hops and the throw to first. In time, just beating out Clark. You saw the speed there just by about a step.
A couple of times now that the Sturs have come out aggressive, swinging on the first pitch. If I'm Welling, the Barons pitcher on the mound right now, it's definitely something I note. Maybe try and mix in some off-speed pitches on their first pitch.
That's going to bring up Easton Ruley, shortstop today defensively for Bill Pintard. Now in his 31st year as the manager. What a career it has been for the skipper for Santa Barbara. With one out and the base is clear. Here comes the first pitch to Easton. The fastball is going to miss down and in near the ankles. That is ball one.
Of course, Welling only has 2 pitches in the fastball and the sweeper, but that's all you need. You just need 2 pitches that are working, and you're able to have an effective day on the mound.
Did concede a run in the first. Santa Barbara lead 1-0 after a leadoff double by Mandino. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to miss high for ball 2, and then Maddox stole third base and then scored on a wild pitch. Really, the first run, all thanks to Maddox Mandino for what he did to kick off this ball game.
That was also Mandino's first extra base hit of the season.
Yes, now with 6 leading the way with Santa Barbara. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to miss inside for ball 3.
Of course, Ruley had a pretty solid day yesterday. Got a hit in his first AB in front of the hometown crowd back in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah, that was great to see. Had a nice contingent of fans cheering him on. Grew up right near Cal Lutheran, really his backyard, and got to play there yesterday and had a very nice day. And he's ahead 3-0. Here comes the pitch. Fastball is going to miss inside. A 1-out walk for Ruley, and he works his second walk of this Forester season.
4-pitch walk. It's no better feeling as the batter, you know. You just don't have to do anything. Just leave the bat on the shoulders. It's almost as if you're not even standing there.
Absolutely. That will bring up now this number 7 batter, the DH today, Brady Dallimore. He bats from the right side, man at first, single out, top of the second. A glare over from Welland, the right-handed pitcher on the bump for the Barons to first base. Here's the delivery. Fastball is going to miss away. That is ball 1 to Dallimore. Dallimore receives some signs down the third base line from associate head coach Steve Schuck. Been with the Foresters since 2014. Has seen a lot of action, a number of NBC championship titles with the associate head coach. Here's the pitch, down in the dirt. It was covered by the catcher, but down to second base goes the runner, Ruley, and he is in. That ball is in the dirt. Good effort from the catcher, but to second goes Easton Ruley.
Yeah, we saw Ruley make a couple stolen base attempts as well yesterday. Really aggressive base runner. Had 22 stolen bases this last season at Central Arizona.
And that's now his 3rd on the season with the Sturs. They count it as a stolen base unless they score as a wild pitch. But aggressive base running regardless for Easton, who entering today was gone 2 for 3. But now the 2-0 pitch to Dallimore, that's inside. And the man at second base, Ruley, was nearly halfway between second and third before he goes back to second base. No one holding on to him currently.
Yeah, I think he was anticipating that one was going to get past the catcher for the Barons. Instead, good job blocking it.
But for the second straight batter, Welland has fallen behind 3-0. Brady Dallimore, who bats from the right side, sees the pitch, and it clips the inside half of the edge, inside half of the plate, rather, for strike 1. 3-1 now to Dallimore.
Smart by Dallimore not to swing there. That would have been, if that pitch missed the zone, it would have been 8 straight pitches that were called balls.
Vince Gambardella does stand on deck. Here is the 3-1 pitch to Dallimore, and that clips the inside edge. Dallimore thought he had first base, taking a step down the first baseline, but called back. Count now full to the DH. Ruley inches off the second base, 1 out. Santa Barbara leading 1-0, top of the second. Here is the payoff pitch. Runner goes. It misses inside. Throw down to third base. Safe. And Dallimore works a walk. To third base goes Ruley, and runners on the corners now for Santa Barbara.
Way to be aggressive from Easton Ruley. Stole third. That's something we've seen the Foresters do a few times now. It's just the MO of a Bill Pintard team.
That's going to bring up the catcher today, Vince Gambardella. Did not see any action yesterday and served as the DH in Game 1 a couple days back. First and third, 1 out. Sturs lead by a run. Here comes the pitch. Big swing and a miss, but it gets past the catcher and from third base. Ruley's going to come home to score, and Santa Barbara now lead 2-0 in the top of the second, scoring on the wild pitch.
It's the second time that both Sturs runs have come off of wild pitches from Welland. Just really tough for the Barron right-hander to find the zone here.
Nothing and won the count to Gambardella. And by the way, Dallimore just worked the walk down to second on the pitch that was in the dirt and trundled its way to the backstop. Here's the 0-1. Gambardella will spit on it, missing away. 1-1.
That's crucial as well. Gets rid of a double play ball and puts Dallimore in scoring position.
Already a run in this inning for the Sturs. They lead 2-0. Top of 2. Welland under some pressure. Here's the 1-1. And the fastball will miss away. 2-1. For Gambardella, back in that first game against Orange County 2 days back, did get hit twice, able to reach base in that fashion. He's ahead in the count, 2-1, man at second, only a single out. Here comes the pitch, and the sweeper's going to miss away, 3-1. And Welland is falling behind and falls again behind for the third straight batter.
Getting on base is just something that Gambardella does. Had an OBP around 450 in his previous stop in Santa Barbara City College.
Another look back to second from the starting pitcher. 3-1 pitch is going to miss down and away. 3 straight walks from Braden Welland, and Santa Barbara get their third consecutive walk. It's now first and second to give way to the 9-hole hitter, Liam Keithley.
Yeah, and there's a coach coming out of the dugout for the Barons. Going to have a quick word with Welland, who's been a little all over the place in this second inning. I thought he did a really good job of getting back in the zone in the first, but faces a bit of adversity here and hasn't been able to do the same in the second.
And the batter will be Liam Keithley. He's only had one AB, a pinch hit, but he gets his first start of the summer with the Sturs. Coming in Game 3, great opportunity for him, and he's playing second base in the infield.
Yeah, and the 9-hole hitter is someone that's been pretty successful for the Foresters so far. In the lineup in general, you know, Navarro played in the 9-hole yesterday and got a few hits, stole some bases. Keithley, that's something that he can do as well. Cal Lutheran kind of exclusively played him as a pinch hitter, and he was able to score 7 runs as a freshman for the Kingsmen.
And a note on Makani Navarro, who went 4 for 4 yesterday, brought home 2 and scored 2. Just want to nurse some lower body ailment, so to speak, just a precautionary measure for Makani. Don't expect him to play today. But Santa Barbara lead 2-0, top of 2. Man at first, man at second, only a single out, and the batter is Keithley, who bats from the right side. Welland's been struggling to find the zone. 3 straight walks, and here's the pitch. Fastball on the ground, left side, and it gets through for a base hit. And coming home from second is Brady Dallimore. The throw will get cut off, and it's an RBI single for Liam Keithley. His first hit of the summer, and brings home the 3rd run of the game.
Not only that, his first hit of the year. I mean, he didn't get any at-bats at Cal Lutheran, and if that hit was any evidence, might have been a mistake by the Kingsmen. Really good job getting past the shortstop from Keithley, and now 2 on with Mandino coming up. We said that this is where Mandino excels with runners on in the back end of the order, going back to the top, where Mandino has been able to take advantage of time and time again.
Look back to second from the pitcher. Here's the delivery to Maddox. It's going to miss high and away on a fastball. That is ball 1. And Mandino, let's not forget the double, which he tried to stretch for a triple, which he did successfully, but the ball went out of play down the left field line. Caught under the padding down in the corner. Scored the first of the 3 runs on the board. Here's the pitch, and it's going to miss inside from Welland, and he falls behind 2-0. Not the man you want to give a good hitter's count to. Two runs in, and only a single out, first and second. Here comes 2-0 offering. Fastball is down away at the ankles. Ball 3.
Good eye from Mandino there. He did a really good job of getting on base back at Louisiana Lafayette this past year, an OBP of 363.
And remember, last 4 men have reached base for the Sturs. 3 via a walk, and the RBI single by Keithley, last man up. 3-0 pitch, and ball 4 to Maddox Mandino. That wasn't even close to the zone, and Maddox aboard for the second time. 4th walk of the inning given up by Wellen.
I think Mandino tossed his bat before the catcher even caught the ball. He just knew that one wasn't going to make the zone.
Yeah, very quick exit for Maddox, but the base is now full of Foresters. Only a single out, already 2 runs in. That's going to bring up the switch hitter, Sawyer Farr, the chance to really do some damage here against the Barons. Wellen, a deep breath. Here's the pitch. Big swing from Sawyer Farr, missing on the fastball, 0-1.
I love to see Farr being aggressive. First pitch with bases loaded. It's been a clutch hitter at times this season for the Foresters so far.
Clips the outside edge right at knee height for Sawyer, 0-2.
Of course, Farr had technically the first home run of the season last night, a Little League home run that brought in Mandino and himself in the 9th inning.
Yeah, as the base is loaded in front of him, 1 out. Here's the 0-2. Fastball away, ball 1. And Wellen strolls off the hill to receive that baseball as all of the cloud cover has now disappeared here from Compton College. And the team showed up a couple hours before the first pitch, completely overcast and gray, now just blue skies overhead. Base is loaded, 1-2 pitch on the ground outside of first base, foul. Still 1-2. To follow Farr will be Easton Muma. In case you're wondering, Farr is the 7th batter of this inning for Santa Barbara Foresters. The shortstop for MLB, shading towards second base. A lot of real estate on the left side of the infield for the switch hitter. 1-2 pitch will miss high and away. Not close to the zone, 2-2.
Good job by Farr to fight back in the count there. Even things up and maybe allow yourself to get a favorable pitch here on this 2-2.
There's now men up. A lefty throwing down the left field line. Wellen in some trouble. 2-2 pitch. Full count, misses high and away. Looks like the off speed from Wellen. And nowhere to put Sawyer Farr. Remember, 4 walks already for the Sturs in this inning with an RBI single. And Sawyer Farr, bases loaded. Runners are going to be on the move with 1 out, already 2 runs in. Here comes the 3-2. On the ground, right side, it's a base hit for Sawyer Farr. 1 run in, looking for 2. And Sawyer Farr has brought in 2 runs, and Santa Barbara now lead 4-0 over the Barons in the second.
Well done by Sawyer Farr. 3-2 pitch. Sends it past the second baseman into right field with a really nice feel off the bat. Well done, Sawyer Farr. And I think that might be Braden Wellen's day. Already have given up 4 runs this inning. It's a 5-0 ball game. Makes sense why manager Kenny Landreau is planning on taking him out here and bringing in the new arm.
Yes, 4 runs in this inning, 5 total now for the Sturs. Farr brings home 2. Keithley brought home 1. Mandino scored in the first, and we will have a pitching change. Sturs now lead 5-0. All the walks, couple hits here in the second. We'll step aside. New arm entering for the Barons after this.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Back at the MLB Academy on the campus of Compton College, the Santa Barbara Foresters now lead 5-0 just in the top of the second. Only a single out, 4 runs in this inning alone, chasing the starter Braden Whalen, who only goes an inning and a third, and enter the lefty Jeremiah Enix.
Yeah, Enix, get this, Anchorage, Alaska, hometown, long way away from home here in Compton. Plays his college ball over at Coppin State, where he struggled a bit this year, mostly worked in relief. But, you know, he's done a solid job of eating up innings there. Had a couple 3-inning performances against Lemoyne in April. So just a really solid guy who could potentially eat up innings here and get out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam facing the best hitter. Excuse me, not bases-loaded, runners on the corners with Easton Muma, one of the best hitters for the Sturs, coming to the plate.
And Mandino will be at third. Sawyer Farr, who just brought home a pair, now at first. And Sawyer now with 3 runs batted in on this very young season, essentially just threw 2 in a fraction of a game. Good lead off of first base for Farr, but the batter will be Muma, who bats from the left side. Here's the pitch. It'll be a fastball high and away on the lefty-lefty matchup.
And it makes sense why they go to a lefty here with the amount of southpaws at the top of the order for Santa Barbara.
Enix, he comes set, looks to first a couple times. A 1-0 delivery. That's going to clip the outside edge for a strike on Easton Muma, who's 0 for 1 today. Had a ground out to short just in the last inning. But a 5-0 lead. Runners on the corners, only a single out, top of 2 for Santa Barbara. A 1-1 to Muma. Will have to wait a throw over that skipped into the first baseman on a check to Sawyer Farr.
Farr, just another example of speedy base runners here. 5 for 5 on stolen base attempts this past season at Texas A&M.
Still 1-1. To Muma, a runner from first goes and misses high and over the catcher's glove. A run's going to come in to score on a wild pitch, and down to second was Sawyer Farr on a stolen bag, but a run comes in. That ball went sailing over the glove of the catcher, and for the second inning in a row, Maddox Mandino is going to score on a wild pitch, and it's now 6-0 Santa Barbara.
Definitely threw off Enix right there on his release. Threw that one way too high and allows Mandino to come across the plate for the second straight inning.
Yeah, since he is a lefty, you saw Farr take off and just threw off the concentration. Here comes the 2-1. Is going to miss away at the knees to Easton Muma, and he is ahead 2-1. Rather 3-1 now with that last pitch. 5 runs in the second. Remember, yesterday the Sturs pushed in 7 in the 5th frame against the Conejo Oaks. 3-1 pitch on the ground, left side to the shortstop. Ranges to his right, thought third base, but will fire to first to get the insured second out. Muma will ground out for the second time, 6-3. But it is a productive out. Sawyer Farr to third. 2 gone in the second.
Really smart play by Akiyama. Just get the easy out. You know, now you just need one more out to get out of his inning. You don't even really have to worry too much about the runner at third. Smart play by the shortstop for the Barons.
Sturs lead 6-0. That's going to bring up Caleb Hoover, man at third. 2 gone. Another lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch, off speed, chop to the second baseman. Fields it off 2 hops as he ranged to his left and will retire Caleb Hoover. 4-3 on the ground out, but Santa Barbara push in 5 in the second. Go to the bottom half of the inning. Sturs lead 6-0 over the Barons.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the second inning, and the Foresters lead 6-0 over the MLB Academy Barons. Kaimi Kahalikai, he had a long wait in that first base dugout, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, how many batters came up for the Foresters? I think they
Nine,
nearly went
all
through
nine.
all 9. So everyone got to get a chance there in the second inning. Gave Kahalikai some time to rejuvenate after first inning where he did give up a hit, but that hit turned into a double play on the next batter up, and then struck out the third to bring up the 4-hole hitter here for the Barons in Jacob Kilinovsky.
What a lead for Santa Barbara, 5 runs in the last. It's going to be the middle 4, Klinowski, Del Villar, and then Backstrom to face Kaimi on the hill. Here's the first pitch, and the fastball will miss away, just under the knees and away. Klinowski bats from the left side against the right-hander on the hill. Kahalikai working quick. Next pitch is on the ground to the first baseman and skips past the hands of Caleb Hoover off a couple big hops, and that second hop took a huge hop past the first baseman down the right field line for a leadoff single for the Barons.
That's the second hit in a row that's come over to Hoover's side and has taken an awkward bounce, a bigger bounce than what Hoover has expected. See if he can kind of make adjustments now, knowing that is a potential. You can get some weird hops over there by first.
There will be a hit into right for Klinowski, the second hit of the day for the Barons as they trail by 6, bottom of the second. Here comes the first pitch to the next batter, and it's going to be a fastball at the knees for a strike. Del Villar, first baseman, who's had a really nice start for the Barons this year. He's gone 3 for 9. Also brought home 2 runs. Most ABs by far of anyone in this lineup for the Barons. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Fans on the fastball, nothing to 2.
Not only is carrying over some good batting from the Barons, but back in college was hitting .354.
He does have a runner at first. Nobody out, but the Stars lead 6-0. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's up the middle for a base hit into right center field, but scooped up by the center fielder, Maddox Mandino, and 2 hits to start off the bottom of the second inning for the Barons. And after conceding 5, 2 base hits, they have first and second, nobody out.
Yeah, that's something that the Foresters pitching staff struggled with a bit yesterday. Allowed 14 hits to the Conejo Oaks. Already have given up 3. And we've not even finished the second inning here.
There's hits galore yesterday down the campus of Cal Lutheran. First and second, nobody out. And the batter will now be Hunter Backstrom. Here's the pitch. Fastball missing into the lefty batter. Backstrom had to shimmy his way back not to get hit. Ball 1. Kahalikai, the right-hander from Long Beach State. 3 hits so far through 3 innings. He's now recording an out so far in the second. Looking for a ground ball. Looks to second, the 1-0. Fastball is a ground ball to second base. Keithley to Rulli to first. It was not in time to get the force out at second. Del Villar, force out victim, but runners will be on the corners as Backstrom will reach on the fielder's choice.
Really showcased his speed there. Great job beating the throw by Backstrom. Passes the bat down to J.J. Nielsen here.
Good work by Liam Keithley as well, the second baseman in his first start of the season. Getting some action on the infield with Bill Pintard oscillating the middle infielders through the first 3 games. But runners on the corners for J.J. Nielsen. 1 out, bottom of 2. Here's the pitch to sharply hit to the third baseman. It was knocked down. The throw to second base to first. Was it in time? No, it's going to bring home a run on the attempted 5-4-3 double play. Klinowski scores the first run of the day for the Barons, and Nielsen will reach on a fielder's choice, brings home a run.
Some speed here in the back end of the order for the Barons. That's the second time in a row where they've beaten the throw to first on a double play attempt. Really impressive job by J.J. Nielsen to beat that cross-diamond throw.
And a great effort from Easton Mumma. Knocked that ball down. That ball was a rocket off the barrel of Nielsen. But here's the first pitch to the next batter. It's going to be in there for a strike on the cutter. from Kaimi. So it's 0-1. And Isaac Ocampo bats from the right side. And at first, 2 out, 6-1 the score. 0-1 outside of third base. Grounded foul. Strike 2.
Just a little too early there from Ocampos. Good job. He's just a little bit later there, though. That is a fair hit and probably advances the runner all the way to third.
Kahalikai takes a moment on the back edge of the bump. A run in for the Barons. As Nielsen is at first, decent lead is held on by Caleb Hoover, the first baseman for the Sturs. 0-2 pitch is a cutter away, ball 1.
Like that decision there from Kahalikai. Get away from the four seam. Try and change up what the batters are seeing with the cutter.
Look back to first base for Kahalikai. He comes set with 2 out. Strike 2 pitch is down in the dirt. Smothered up well by Vince Gambardella. 2-2, and we did mention, especially you, Nate, you noted the 3 different catchers being used in the first three games. Gambardella served as the DH game 1 and the catcher today. Done well behind the plate. Here's the 2-2. Fastball missing well behind. There's Gambardella. Springs his way up. That pole is sailing high. Athletic play from the catcher.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, part of the reason why there's been so many different catchers used is because there's just so many on the roster that Pintard can go to. Obviously, we've seen Gambardella, Dallimore, Madrid, Murray. Still 2 more guys as well as Zane Becker and Cole Chamberlain listed at the position that aren't with the team just quite yet.
The skipper did say the catcher, one of the deepest positions this year. Payoff pitch, runner goes, and slicing over the first base dugout, out of play. A very fine complex here at Compton College. One of a couple MLB academies sprinkled through the United States. And you look at the outfield fences, black padding, probably about 10 foot tall, maybe 8 outfield fences, and you see logos of major league teams with last names above it where players going through this academy have made it to the majors. Always the biggest accomplishment you can have in baseball. Making it to the show. There's a payoff pitch on its way and down in the dirt, and Ocampo will work a 2-out walk to put runners at first and second for the Barons.
Good job to walk there from Ocampo. Had to fight back in the count, but managed to do so. Puts runners on first and second to bring up DJ Akiyama.
And DJ out of the 9th spot with a run in for the Barons, but the Sturs lead 6-1, bottom of the 2nd. Kahalikai looks back to second. Delivery is a fastball in there on the outer half, strike 1.
Stuff that Kahalikai did a really good job in the first inning, getting first pitch strikes. Has gone away from that a bit here in the second. Good to see him back in that zone with 2 outs.
Look back to second. Strike 1 pitch on its way. Another fastball and foul back directly behind the plate. Halfway up the screen. 0-2. And the sun continues to get higher here at the MLB Academy. We've noted all of the cloud cover earlier today, but turned into a gorgeous afternoon in the Los Angeles area. But it's first and second for the Barons, trying to get themselves right back in this game. They trail by 5, but the 0-2 pitch is a cutter missing away. 1-2.
Good location there by Kahalikai, really having Akiyama thinking what this next pitch could be.
Back to second, and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball on the ground past the third baseman in the left field for a base hit. And Nielsen from second base is coming home, and he will score. The throw was wide down the first baseline, and 2 runs in for the Barons. 4-run lead for Santa Barbara.
For someone that's made so many impressive plays at third base, that was a really tough one to make for Easton Mumog. Rockets past him into the outfield. Sawyer Farr, solid attempt to throw to get the runner out at home, but just a bit to the right. Gambardella unable to even attempt the tag. Good piece of hitting here for the Barons to pass the bats around.
A 2-out knock for the 9-hole hitter to bring up Williams back to the top of the order. Here's the pitch, and it's going to miss away. Ball 1. Isaac Ocampo down to second, and Akiyama brings home the second run of the ball game. It's now at first. The infield shaded a fraction for Williams to pull. Here's the 1-0, and it's down the left field line, and it will slice fair down the left field line into the corner. And from second base, Ocampo will score with ease, and advancing down to second base is Williams. 3 runs in for the Barons, and just like that, the Sturs were leading 6-0. It is now 6-3, and the MLB Academy finding some life in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, Kahilikai is going to get a bit of a mound visit here, talk some things over with a couple of players. Yeah. That'll be Sturs coach coming out of the dugout. Kahilikai did a really good job in the first inning to kind of time back up after giving off the leadoff hit. This time struggling a bit to get back into that zone that he was in. 3 runs across the plate. You got runners on second and third with 2 outs. So really good job there by Williams to take advantage. You know, he knows he was at 2 outs. Good job to get a run across the plate there for the Barons to get themselves back into this game.
Conference completed for Scott Murray, pitching coach this year for the Sturs. And it is worth noting, to follow Kahilikai, we were told Tyler Fino would get his first appearance. It would go Fino, Waldeck, and then Gallegos in terms of men out of the pen, all righties for Santa Barbara. Can't see from where we're sitting, but you have to imagine Fino is up and throwing. Second and third, 2 outs, 6-3 the score. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a fastball missing away, ball 1. And the batter will be Antonio Lujan, the 8th batter of this inning. Remember, Santa Barbara had all 9 come to the plate top half of this inning when they put up 5 runs. The 1-0. And that is going to be a balk. The motion stops from Lujan, from Kaimi on the hill. I looked down for a second. He was stumbling off the hill. Did you see exactly what happened, Nate? It's going to be a balk.
Yeah, I just think kind of got a little mistimed there on his pitch. Steps off the mound full on with, like he was doing his full motion. The ball just didn't come out, and obviously easy balk to call there. Brings in a run to bring in a 2-run game.
4th run in this inning for the Barons. It's now 6-4. Runner advances to third. Now the 1-0 pitch is spoiled off the third base dugout. Down in that ravine, which runs parallel to the third base line. That will be strike 1 on Antonio Lujan. Grounded into a double play first time up. Last inning, he's 0 for 1. But what an eventful second inning between these two teams. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball will miss away for ball 2.
Yeah, similar feel so far to the Conejo game yesterday, where we saw some really expensive innings from both sides. Of course, that bottom of the 4th, where the Sturs gave up a few runs. Now 4 runs given up here in the bottom of the 2nd today.
2 out, 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. That was the cutter from Kahilikai, 2-2.
Very low pitch, great job by Gambardella to prevent that one from going past him. If he didn't do that, another run would have came across the plate.
And at third is Nathaniel Williams, who had an RBI double down the left field line. But it's 2-2, and Lujan bats from the left side, sees the 2-2 pitch, and the fastball will miss away. Full count. Lujan is the 8th batter of this inning. Kahilikai conceded 4 runs so far this inning for the Sturs. Looking to end it right here. 3-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Looked like the changeup missing down and away. A 2-out walk for Lujan. And the last 4 men all reaching base cleanly. 2 walks and 2 hits for the Barons to put runners on the corners.
I think I'm just telling myself, if I'm Kaimi, I'm just 1 pitch away. 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. All it takes is a fly out into the outfield, soft ground ball to the infield, and you get out of this.
Kahilikai now facing his 9th batter of this inning. 6-4 the score, tying run now at first, 2 out. Here's the pitch into the gap in the right center field. Mandino, long run, the center fielder, and makes the squeeze. That ball was slicing off the barrel of Gavin Taylor, but the side is retired. Both teams see 9 batters in the second frame. The Sturs lead 6-4. To the third we go from Compton College. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Into the third inning, and what an eventful second inning it was. 5 runs for Santa Barbara, 4 runs for the Barons. It is a 6-4 ball game. Sturs on top, but 9 runs between the two teams.
Really costly inning for both teams. I think the biggest thing, I'm not really concerned here for the Foresters. You know, whenever they faced adversity yesterday against the Oaks, they had a couple of innings where they gave up runs. They'd always come back up in the top inning, in the top half of the next inning, and put on a couple more to kind of reestablish their lead. Of course, you still hold a 2-run lead here. Likely, I think we're going to see a pitching change in the third. So definitely nothing to be worried about here for the Sturs. You bring up Brenton Clark, Easton Ruley, and Brady Dallimore here. Some guys who've had success this season, especially Ruley. So really nothing to be concerned about here for Santa Barbara.
And it will be the 5, 6, and 7 batters in this lineup for the Sturs, who are looking to move into the off day tomorrow with a perfect 3-0 record. Remember, just 2 teams undefeated so far in CCL play. The Sturs and the San Diego Waves, a new affiliate, part of the CCL South. And granted, most of the teams only playing 3 games. A couple teams with 4 games. The Alameda Merchants, when you look to the North Division, currently 3-1. The only team with 3 wins on the docket so far. Here's the first pitch now to Clark. There's going to be an off-speed in there for strike 1. Brenton is 0 for 1, ground out to short today. The lefty-lefty matchup, it'll be a lefty-righty-righty against the southpaw Jeremiah Enix remaining on the hill. Here's the pitch, and the fastball will clip the outside half, and Clark falls behind 0-2 to start the third.
Enix came into a jam in the top of the second and got out of it here ahead of a count 0-2. Effective stuff from the southpaw.
Here's the delivery. And it's lined down the left field line, slicing, and Clark is thinking 2. He takes a wide turn from first and will cruise into second, and he's going 3. A misplay down in the left field corner, and going to third base is Brenton Clark, all the way to third for the leadoff man.
Just a great play to showcase what Brenton Clark is all about.
And it
He's
looks
got
like
his hits, he's got his speed, and actually they will send him.
he lost the bucket between second and third. We thought he was going to be going back to second base, maybe the ball out of play again, but it will be a true triple.
Yeah, and that ball definitely stayed in play. It kind of bounced foul. Didn't go under the fence, though, like the Mandino ground rule double in the first. So good job to get back in there and get the triple for Brenton Clark.
There's the first pitch now to Ruley. And the fastball will be in there for strike 1 on Easton. 6-4 the score. Santa Barbara on top just in the third. First pitch was right around 1:05 local time. Strike 1 pitch. Off speed popped up and out of play over our heads to our right. And a very nice complex here at Compton College. You have a football field down the right field line past a very nice clubhouse. The Eldridge Eatman Pavilion, cinder block complex behind the first base dugout, which holds all the academy players that come through these programs that play here at this MLB Academy. But a man at third, nobody out. The 0-2 pitch, chasing the high fastball, but fouling it off as Easton Ruley stays alive.
You could hear Coach Pintard there yelling to Easton, just get some contact. Contact is what they're looking for. Get the easy run across the plate with Clark at third.
And currently the Sturs only have 4 hits. There are 5 hits for the Barons, yet Santa Barbara +2 in the run column, even though they have 1 less hit. All the walks in the last inning. Infield straight away. They're playing in as the 0-2 on the ground, past the second baseman into center field, and Easton Ruley, just like the manager called up. Contact into the outfield brings home Brenton Clark and an RBI single for the shortstop.
The infield playing in, kind of maybe expecting a bunt from Ruley, but that just caused there to be a massive gap in the middle of the infield, which Easton took great advantage of. Now on base, you got some more speed on the base paths with Brady Dallimore coming to the dish.
It's now 7-4 for Santa Barbara. 1 run in the first, 5 in the last, now 1 in the third. The pitch is chopped over to the shortstop, ranges to his right, charges. The throw to first will be in time, and Dallimore will ground out, but it does advance Easton Ruley into scoring position.
Yeah, crucially gets him out of that double play ball and into scoring position. Good job by Dallimore to advance the runner. You still only have 1 out here. Gamberdeller coming to the plate can take advantage of this.
Seven for the score. Santa Barbara on top. Now in scoring position is Ruley on the ground out. Here comes a pitch to Vince, and Gambardella gets plonked on the back. That's the 3rd time he's been hit, and he hasn't had too many plate appearances. Didn't play yesterday. Had 4 plate appearances in game 1 and gets hit. He's already got a walk and now hit by a pitch.
Has any other Stir taken a hit by pitch this season? All of them have gone to Gambardeller. Get that guy an ice pack.
And this hit by a pitch is brought to us by our friends at Alta Orthopedics.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
Vince might have to be giving them a call shortly after all the times he has been hit this year, but that's going to bring up Liam Keithley. 7 for the score, 1 out. Runner at second and first for Santa Barbara. And a pickoff play back to second base. Back there is Ruley, and the second baseman Nathaniel Williams fields it. No real chance at slapping the tag down to the man at second.
I don't think Williams was as prepared for that. Just got there in time to collect the ball.
Keithley's 1-for-1's brought home a run and scored, both of which came in the last. Runners take off. The pitch is in there for a strike down to second base, in safely, and both runners picking up stolen bags. The second baseman couldn't field that throw down from the catcher cleanly, and Williams was able to knock it down. That ball could have been going into the outfield easily.
Yeah, maybe the catcher for Santa Barbara had a thought, for the Barons, had the thought that maybe I do go to third base, kind of hesitated there. Instead, a bad throw to second allows both runners to advance for Santa Barbara, and both crucially in scoring position and out of a double play ball.
And the infield now in for the Barons. 1 out, 2 in scoring position, and nothing to 1 the count for Keithley. 7 for the score, Sturs lead. The pitch is in there for a strike. Had some movement off the hand of the lefty pitcher, Enix. Nothing in 2. Keithley bats from the right side. First start of the season today. Can he bring home 2 more runs? Here's the 0-2, and that's down the dirt, smothered by Isaac Ocampo. And looked like the slider that time from Enix missing down.
Good job blocking that by Ocampo. Saves a run on the ball in the dirt from Enix.
Top of the order is on deck for the Sturs, but they look for more runs in the third. 1-2 pitch is chopped down the third baseline. Steve Shuck, third base coach, has to back up. Man, he fielded himself, but well foul, and it will be still 1-2.
Great bare hand grab there by Shuck.
Yes. The infield still playing in. A 2 in scoring position, only a single out. Here comes the 1-2. And Keithley goes down looking. Looked like the slider backing its way up, and Keithley down looking. Second out in the third.
Yeah, it gave the home plate ump a bit of a look there. Just like, was that really inside? Just on the corner. Great location by Enix.
That's going to bring up Mandino. Been kind of a wild ride when Maddox has been able to reach base, scoring twice from third base on a wild pitch. Got a stolen bag and a double to his name already today. The other time he's able to work a walk.
Done a very good job in these situations with runners in scoring position.
First pitch to Maddox, and it's going to miss high on a fastball from Enix, who loses the cap again on a couple pitches now. The lefty reliever has lost the hat on the follow-through, and it is worth noting the right side of the infield has backed up on the pull side for Mandino. The other infielders on the left-hand side playing double play depth. 1-0 pitch is slicing into that creek and ravine down the left field line, actually in the top row of seats down the left field line for strike 1 on Maddox.
One man sitting in those left field bleachers retrieves the ball and gets it back to the dugout.
7-4 the score, top of the third. Santa Barbara leads. But a chance with 2 in scoring position for Mandino. 1-1 pitch. Swallow fouls it back on the screen, but lost the lumber. It was flying like a saucer towards the first base dugout. Everyone got out of the way. It wasn't too dangerous. It was more like ankle height. Take someone's shins out, but a little extra pine tar rubbed on by Sawyer Farr, who stands on deck.
I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't want to get hit by a flying
No.
bat, Hunter. I mean, we would have been pretty helpless in this position at our little table next to the Stars dugout.
So it's now 1-2. It remains for Mandino. Enix trying to limit the damage to just a single run for Santa Barbara. The pitch is in there, called strike 3. It looked like possibly the cutter from Enix got Mandino looking. Back-to-back strikeouts, but a run comes in to score. The score is 7-4 going to the bottom of the third from Compton College.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the third inning. The Foresters lead 7-4 over the MLB Academy Barons, and Kaimi Kahalikai remains on the bump after giving up 4 runs in the last inning. Stars go right back to him.
Yeah, and I love that trust from Coach Pintard here and his starter trying to stay out there after a tough second.
Here comes the first pitch. The leadoff batter is going to miss away on the cutter from Kahalikai. He's going to face 4, 5, and 6 coming up in this inning. Working quick. Next pitch is a fastball foul down, I should say fair down the left field line into foul ground. Now long run for the left fielder and runs out of real estate. It's Sawyer Farr as that ball fell nearly vertically on the fence down that left field line. No play for the left fielder.
Third different day, we've seen Sawyer Farr play a new position. He started the season at second, yesterday at short, now in left field.
Sturs lead 7-4, and the leadoff man, Klinovsky, has gone 1 for 1, base hit in the right. 1-1. Going to be a changeup away. That's ball 2.
Kahalakai in his warm-up before this inning was doing a good job of finding the zone. The first 2 pitches, however, been a little high.
Here's the fastball inside. It's ball 3. He's been working a quicker tempo, it feels like, in this inning compared to the first couple.
Absolutely has.
Already ready to go on the first base side of the hill. And here comes the 3-1 delivery. As Klinovsky will see a fastball missing a fraction away. And it's a leadoff walk for the right fielder.
And I do think that change in tempo has been pretty intentional from Kahalakai. Kind of trying to throw off the game, but it might have thrown off his game a little bit as well. 5-pitch walk to the leadoff batter.
That's going to bring up Jason Del Villar, who on the year has gone 4 for 10. Just 10 ABs. Wearing a blue sleeve on his right arm. The Barons today wearing white bottoms, dark blue tops. The Sturs maroon tops and gray bottoms. Leadoff man aboard. Here's the first pitch. Is up and out of play. Behind home plate, behind the press box. And there's another baseball field, a Little League field behind us, which that ball was fouled back into. A lot of fields here. Some softball fields and extra baseball fields. Compton College. Glare over from Kahalikai to Klinovsky at first after the leadoff walk. Strike 1 pitch is in the left center field. Long run for Sawyer, and the left fielder will make the squeeze in the gap. And Del Villar is retired, 1 away in the 3rd.
And it should be noted that, this is the position where Farr is listed at on the Stars roster. He is listed as an outfielder. And that time showing why, good job covering some ground there. It's just great to see someone like Sawyer Farr with this much positional versatility. Really useful for Coach Pintard.
That's going to bring up Hunter Backstrom. A little bit more on Sawyer Farr in just a moment, but a man at first, 1 out. Here comes the first pitch to Backstrom, the lefty. He's going to take a fastball away. And Farr said to us earlier today, initially recruited to Texas A&M as a middle infielder, but a couple guys took those spots throughout the course of the year, and they put Farr in the outfield needing his bat, and what he does is the next pitch will miss away on a changeup for ball 2, but so versatile. You're recruited to college as a middle infielder, and you're still trusted by your coaching staff at A&M. Be put out in left. Backstrom ahead in the count. Bats from the left side. Here's the pitch. Fastball is reaching for it. It's way in the zone. Peppers it off into the ravine to the left. Strike 1.
And it wasn't like he was just any middle infielder. He was the 7th overall shortstop in his class.
True.
I mean, he's one of the best, one of the best guys in his year at that position. But it really speaks a lot to his character about how he's just like, yeah, I'm able to step away from the role that I want to be in, be able to play in the outfield and still have a lot of success.
There's a 2-1 on its way and will miss away on the fastball. Ball 3, and Kahalikai walked the first man he faced in this inning. He remains at first. Retired Del Villar for the first out. He's going to have to battle back against Hunter Backstrom, the number 6 batter. Here comes a 3-1. Swing and a miss, full count.
Way to get back in the count there from Kahalakai. Good job generating the swing and miss from Backstrom, who got some good contact off him last time around.
Count full, man at first, 1 away. Shortstop playing a fraction towards second base. Third baseman pinched in. Here's the pitch, called strike 3, and it looks like Backstrom thought it was inside for ball 4, but he will go down looking. It looked like the cutter that time from Kahalakai.
Yeah, tried to sell the call by getting a little bit of movement, trying to move away from the pitch that the home plate ump was having, and none of it from Backstrom.
Kahalakai, his second K and a big second out in the 3rd, with Santa Barbara leading 7-4. Still a man at first. Here comes the first pitch to J.J. Nielsen. Is the cutter in there for a strike? 0-1.
Yeah, Nielsen, really interesting guy, committed to Hawaii to play both on the baseball and the football team. Was a 3-star quarterback, according to 24/7 Sports.
Good athlete at the plate. Awaits the 0-1. It's going to be a fastball missing high and in, ball and a strike.
And I mean, that's something that coaches really value, is guys that can play multiple sports. There's a lot of, similarity, especially between baseball and football. You see a lot of two-way guys play quarterback and baseball as well.
1-1 pitch. It goes back to the cutter, and it's in there for strike 2. And Kahalakai now finding his rhythm. Both starting pitchers giving up some runs early in this game. But Santa Barbara still comfortable 3-run lead, 7-4 the score. Kahalakai trying to work around a lead-off walk. 2 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Runner goes. 1-2 misses down. The throw down to second will be late. And a stolen bag for Klinovsky, his first of the summer.
Well timed stolen base right there from Klinovsky. I don't think anyone on the field was expecting it for the Foresters.
It's now 2-2 and a runner in scoring position. So one swing in the bat can make it a 2-run game if the ball's able to be put in play by Nielsen. The pitch, but a swing and a miss. The cutter from Kahalakai. He had some success with that pitch, and he retires Nielsen on back-to-back strikeouts and works around a lead-off walk. To the fourth we go. Stirs by 3 from Compton.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
The Foresters leading 7-4 over the MLB Academy Barons. Both teams playing in their third games of the season. The Stirs 2-0. The Barons 1-1. There will be a pitching change for MLB Academy. Wesley Wells, the right-hander, will take over, and he's going to face 2-3-4 against the Foresters.
Yeah, Wells, a guy who's listed as a position player on the line, on the roster for the Barons, has kind of bounced around, played at Claremont Mud Scripts in 2024, now at a prep school in IMG Academy. That's what they announced on the broadcast, on the PA just now. Excited to see what he can do on the mound. Shorter guy at 5'11". That doesn't mean he can't generate some velocity.
And he's going to face Sawyer Farr, Muma, and then Hoover for the Stirs. And in the bottom of the third inning, the first time no runs were scored by either side since the first. If you missed us, if you're joining us late, 9 runs between the two teams in the second. The Santa Barbara put up 5 in the second, and the Barons, the home team, responded with 4 of their own. 7-4 the score, and the switch hitter Farr will bat from the left side against the new right-handed pitcher Wells. And Sawyer already has 5 hits through just 2.5 games essentially at this point. Had a 2-run single in the right back in the second. We were just talking about Sawyer defensively, and he's out in left field. His whole family's well known for going to Texas A&M. Now a 4th-generation Aggie is Sawyer Farr. Family affair with Texas A&M, and the first pitch is in there for strike on Sawyer, 0-1.
Yeah, and he came to Texas A&M in a kind of a period of turmoil, obviously a controversial coaching change after the previous coach went to Rivals Texas.
Next pitch will miss upstairs to even the count, 1-1. And a lot of the players, when we just talk about college baseball, still not here for the Foresters. A number of guys on the Arkansas roster playing in the Super Regional this weekend. Here's the 1-1, and it's slicing over the third base dugout, out of play, back in that ravine. He collects a lot of baseballs throughout this CCL season and just baseballs in general with all the games being played here at this MLB Academy. But the leadoff man far at a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch, and look out, turning away from the high fastball, nearly dropping to a knees, trying to spin counterclockwise away from it. It's 2-2.
I mean, you mentioned the Super Regionals. Caden Miller, player for UTSA, has been in Los Angeles this weekend in the Los Angeles Super Regional against UCLA.
And UTSA, what a great year it was for them, and still is, just making their first ever Super Regional. Now the 2-2, UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio, and the many Texas schools in the Lone Star State. But the count now full for Sawyer Farr. Next will be Muma. And the relief pitcher, Wells. The 3-2 delivery will miss upstairs. Ball 4. And another walk worked by Santa Barbara. There's a 5th walk of the day for Santa Barbara. And when you look back to that 7-run inning yesterday in the 5th, the Stars had 5 straight to really shut the door on the Oaks in the middle innings. Leadoff man on, and here is Easton Muma. Here comes the first pitch, and will miss for ball 1.
Muma, another guy coming from a school in Texas, UT Rio Grande Valley, who had a very successful year themselves.
The infield, playing a fraction for Muma to pull, and a check back to the man at first base. In safely as far, slid back in. Stars are leading 7-4, top of the 4th inning.
The Vaqueros, it was their first year in the Southland Conference, and they finished as co-champions. Very impressive.
Yeah, first year part of any new conference. As a 1-0 pitch is drilled down the right field line, high and deep, and off the top of the wall, literally off the coping. It comes back into right field, and it's just going to be the longest single you can ever imagine for Easton Muma. It looked like the right fielder, Klinowski, thought that ball was well gone, but that ball ricocheted as high as you can get off this outfield wall and right.
I don't know if I've seen something like that before, Hunter. I mean, everyone in the ballpark thought it was going to leave, but it just bounced off the top of the wall. Really unlucky for Easton.
And we'll have to settle for just 1 base. That ball was launched. It's going to be first and third, far down to third base, and the batter will now be Caleb Hoover. The pitch, yeah, fastball missing in. Hoover slides backwards on his tippy toes. It's ball 1.
Big thing now is you have to take advantage of that. It would really bite to see a home run, a near home run, not go out of the park, and then you don't get anything out of it if you're Santa Barbara.
Looking to add on, they lead 7-4. Here's the 1-0, and it's going to be by Wells. Looked like the running fastball 1-1. Over today, he's 0 for 2, a pair of groundouts. The 1-1 on the ground, right side, but through into right field for a base hit. Hoover brings home Sawyer Farr, and the Stars extend their lead. They lead 8-4, and Hoover aboard for the first time today.
Great time to get your first hit of the season. Score another run. Foresters have scored in 4 consecutive innings. That just must feel really good for Caleb coming off of the broken hand. You know, he's still getting back in the swing of things and live at-bats. That time reaches with the single on a really hard hit ball past the second baseman.
Get back into the swing of things literally for Hoover.
Very intended.
First pitch now to Clark. Will miss upstairs for ball 1. Brenton earlier today, ground up to short and a triple and a run scored. Still nobody out. Top of the 4th, 8-4 the score. Runner at first and second. The 1-0 pitch, high fastball checked back to the man at second, but not competitive. The shortstop fielding it. Number of paces toward the third base side of second base on the attempted back pick to Muma.
I really think Muma was intending to steal there. I don't get why you throw that ball. That's just a very risky play from Ocampo.
Wells, traffic behind him. The relief pitcher, the 2-0 pitch, missing well high on a fastball. It's ball 3.
And that's very much gone into the head of Wells and his battery partner, Ocampo. They know that Muma's thinking it in the back of his head. The question is, does Easton go?
Their reliever hunched over, looks for the signs, comes set. 3-0 pitch is a slider, will miss down and in. Ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk for Brenton Clark. He's aboard for the second time today.
And this is when you see the mental aspect of things coming into effect. The pitcher Wells and Ocampo having a bit of a conversation, just shook hands saying, well, hey, we're all good. I don't know if you can say you're all good with bases loaded and nobody out.
First 4 men all reaching base for Santa Barbara. The batter will now be Easton Ruley. 8-4 the score. Top of the 4th. Santa Barbara on top. Wesley Wells trying to find his first out of his outing. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a slider away, ball 1.
Good job to hold up there by Ruley. He wanted to swing there, but just could kind of see the ball creeping out of his zone and managed to hold it back.
Santa Barbara looks to put up another crooked number. 1-0 pitch is in there this time. Looked like another breaking ball from Wells. 1-1. And Easton Ruley today, 1 for 1 with a walk. He has scored a run and brought home a run. The 1-1 pitch is fouled directly behind home plate. Lined off the barrel, off the fastball from Wells.
And it's definitely a tough position for Wesley Wells to be in right now, but he's come back in the count here. Was down 1-0, now ahead as the pitcher is 1-2. Has a couple pitches to give here. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to the breaking ball with the 1-2.
Default Ruley will be Dallimore. 8-4 the score as Wesley Wells steps off and resets. Bases filled with Foresters. Still nobody out. Comes the 1-2 pitch on the ground outside of first base. That was lined right towards the first base dugout. The Foresters are housed here at the MLB Academy. And there is a man throwing down the left field line in the Academy Barons bullpen. But Wells looking for a big first out in terms of his cause and the Barons' cause, down by 4 runs. 1-2 pitch is lined just past the second baseman into right center field. 1 run in, looking for 2. Big wide turn from Hoover and a 2-run single for Easton Ruley, and the Sturs now lead 10-4 over the Barons.
Had an opportunity to make the play at second base for Nathaniel Williams, but he just couldn't reach out and make the grab. Well hit ball by Ruley, and that scores 2. Great situational hitting with the bases loaded.
And here comes the pitching coach for the Barons. When you look at the scoreboard beyond the fence in left field for Santa Barbara, 1 run in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third, and with nobody out in the 4th, they have plated 3, and still it's first and second, and the first 5 men have all reached base.
And they're not really doing it with the walks, they're doing it with hits. They're doing a really good job of stringing together hits, passing down the bat. Brady Dallimore now coming to the plate. You know the pitcher's feeling a little rattled. Can you take advantage of it if you're Dallimore?
And Easton Ruley, with his second hit of the day, he's now brought home 3 runs. 10-4 the score. Still nobody out. Here's the first pitch. Popped up in a shallow right. Long run for Konofsky, the right fielder. And he makes the catch comfortably out in the middle of right field for the first out of the inning.
That's a tough play to make with the sun shining this bright. Not a cloud in the sky here in Compton.
That's going to bring up the catcher today, Vince Gambardella. The man who has been, with no hits so far this season, able to get on base still with frequency. And it looks like Kenny Landreau is going to be making a pitching change. He appears out of the third base dugout. Wesley Wells, he has faced 6 batters, only records a single out. It's going to be first and second, 1 out. 3 runs in for Santa Barbara. We'll step aside. They lead 10-4 over the Barons in Compton. Coming to the plate for the Santa Barbara Foresters will be Vince Gambardella. He's going to face the lefty Jimmy Welsher. It's going to be a lefty-righty matchup, rather lefty-lefty for Vince, batting from the left side. First and second, 1 out. 6-run game as Welsher will step off. No throw down to either base.
And I do have to clarify that is Jimmy spelled J-I-M-I like the guitarist Jimi Hendrix.
And Mr. Welsher, the southpaw.
Just like Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm. New Mexico Highlands plays his baseball. The runner from second takes off. It's down low on the next pitch to Gambardella. I should say the first pitch. So a stolen bag now for Brenton Clark, who is at third. Easton Ruley is at first. And when you look at this inning, the first 5 batters all reached base. For the first out was recorded by the flyout by Dallimore, and that also induced the pitching change. Gambardella facing the new arm. The 1-0 pitch will have to wait to step off and check down to the man at first, and that is Easton Ruley.
Yeah, on that stolen base from second to third, good job by Ruley to hold up at first because that throw was going to come in at second. It very easily could have got him out.
10 for the score. The 1-0 pitch, and Gambardella will see a ball away at belt height. Like the fastball from Jimmy Welsher. So that's ball 2. And we were saying right before the pitching change, Gambardella has been the on-base machine. Here's the 2-0. Off-speed missing high for ball 3. He's already been walked today. He's been hit by a pitch. 3 times he's been hit by a pitch already this year. And he has scored a run today. Also, you don't want to shortchange him. He has a stolen base on his ledger today. 3-0 is a fastball in there for a strike. 3-1.
Way to get back in there in the zone for Jimmy Welsher. Two-way player over at New Mexico Highlands also can play in the outfield.
Couple of two-way players for the Academy Barons today on the bump. Step off and throw down to first. Scampering back, no problem, is Ruley. He's had a fantastic day. He's got 2 hits and a walk. He scored a run and brought home 3. And Easton responsible for 4 of the 10 runs on the board. 3-1. And that will miss inside. The changeup, it looked like, from Welsher will walk Gambardella. Bases juiced. 1 out in the 4th.
Not what you want to see if you're Kenny Landreau, the new reliever to come in and gives off a walk in his first batter faced. Now Liam Keithley coming to the plate with bases juiced. Only 1 out.
And again, Gambardella getting on base. Another free pass, whether he's wearing it on his forearm or his shoulder or reaching base on balls. Here's the first pitch to Keithley, up and out of play behind the press box. That's strike 1. One more note on Gambardella. His 3 plate appearances today reached on all 3 occasions. He had 4 plate appearances in game 1. Reached 2 out of the 4 times. So make that 4 of 7 on base percentage for him to this season. The 0-1 on the ground right side. This might be 2. They flip to the shortstop. The throw to first will be in time. 4-6-3 Williams to Akiyama to Del VR to turn 2 and get out of the inning. The Sturs able to push in 3, go to the bottom of the 4th. Santa Barbara lead 10-4 over the Barons.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties. And as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back on the campus of Compton College, Tyler Fino will make his first appearance on the hill. He'll take over for Kahili Kai, who went 3 innings, and Fino, now on the bump for the first time this summer.
Yeah, really solid bounce back inning in the 3rd for Kahilikai. Now Tyler Fino making his Foresters debut. The TCU product comes from Champlin, Minnesota. That's a suburb of Minneapolis. 6'6" righty, another tall pitcher being thrown from Bill Pintard.
Took a deep breath behind the hill and engages from the first base side of the bump. And he winds up the first pitch to Isaac Ocampo. It's going to be a fastball right down the middle, strike 1. Ocampo, first plate appearance, worked a walk, came around to score, and it is a 10-4 Forester lead, bottom of the 4th. Here's the strike 1 pitch. This chopped a high hopper to the third baseman. Muma had to back up, fields it, and then the throw to first will be in time to retire Ocampo. And 2 pitches, and Fino records the first out of the inning.
Good job to force some weak contact from Ocampo. That's a textbook play for Easton Muma over at third. The hot corner looking a little cold over there.
Muma has been so good through 2.5 games now being played. Forester season, that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, DJ Akiyama. Base is clear, 1 out. The pitch. And it's going to be a fastball just missing away at the knees to the lefty batter. Ball 1. And Muma, the third baseman, is pinched in a fraction. The other infielders back near the grass. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss this time from Akiyama, 1-1.
Yeah, Fino of his past year with the Horned Frogs only made 1 appearance, but it was a pretty special one. Got to play in their game at Globe Life Field, the home of the Texas Rangers. Had a scoreless inning against Kansas State.
The 1-1 is a slider in there for a strike 1 and 2. Yeah, what an experience that would be, being able to pitch on that field.
Absolutely, and retired all 3 batters he faced, got the strikeout 1 as well, so really cool moment for Tyler.
He's ahead, 1-2. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and Akiyama chasing the changeup away, 2 down in the 4th.
Gave a bit of a Conor McGregor strut after that strikeout. Fino starting to feel himself here.
That's going to bring around the top of the order. Nathaniel Williams. Base is clear, 2 out. Foresters leading 10-4 over the Barons, game 3 of the season. Here's the pitch, and it's lined in the left field. In comes far and makes a diving play, Superman style, towards home plate. And an extremely quick 3 up, 3 down for Tyler Fino in his debut. And we head to the 5th. Foresters, some good pitching here and some good defense, lead 10-4 over the Barons.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
To the 5th inning we go from Compton, California at the MLB Academy. And the Forsters have a 10-run lead, leading 10-4. Jimmy Walsher, who entered in relief in the 4th, remains on the hill for the Barons. Mandino Farmuma coming up. That is 1, 2, and 3 for the Sturs.
A really good job of getting out of the last inning. Let's see how he goes with a clean slate here in the top of the 5th.
First pitch, and Mandino was squaring around to bump, but that off speed was sailing well over his head. Maddox ducked out under it. That will be a very errant pitch for ball 1 in this lefty-lefty matchup.
Better to get that out of your system now than to do that with a base runner on if you're Jimmy Walsher.
And for Maddox today, he's gone 1 for 2 with a run scored. 1-0 pitch, bunting again down the first baseline. It's a good one. The second baseman charges in, but no chance. Not even a toss over to first base. The second baseman was playing back, and a bunt single from Maddox made that look extremely easy.
It's a couple of times now this season where we've seen Mandino lay down the bunt and not even get a throw over to first. It just showcases how good of a bunt, how good he is at laying down bunts, but also just the speed, the wheels that he has. Perfect leadoff man for Pintard's side.
He just picked up his 7th hit of the season, and that's going to bring up the switch hitter Sawyer Farr to bat from the right side. But a check over to Maddox. He scampered back no problem. And Sawyer's going to be awaiting the first pitch, who's gone 1 for 2. With a walk, a run scored, and he has brought home 2 runs in the first 4 innings. Another throw over to the first baseman, Jason Del Villar. Keep tabs on Maddox, and with what the Sturs have done all season long, entering today with already 7 attempted stolen bases, Maddox has 1 today. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to send him at some point this inning. Now the first pitch to Sawyer. Off speed, check to swing, but takes a strike.
Walsher, more so than any other pitcher the Sturs have faced, has really been throwing it back to first, keeping those runners in check. He does not want to see Mandino take off.
Another throw right on cue. Back to Maddox. This time he has to slide back in, hands first. Just 1 pitch being thrown so far to Sawyer. Man at first, nobody out. There goes the runner to the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Sawyer Farr, and trotting down to second base. Not even a slide by Mandino. And he picks up his 2nd stolen base of the day.
Oh, they're going to call him.
I was looking down. Did they call him out?
Yeah, he's heading back over to heading back. I don't know if he's going back to first. I don't know if he's going back to dugout. Yeah, they're going to call him out, and they're going to bring up they called Sawyer Farr out.
And they put Mandino back
at first. Yes.
At first.
Yes.
So Farr strikes out. Only 1 out in the inning. Mandino remains at first. Now Muma will take an off speed for a strike. Strike 1.
Confusion here, but the scoreboard had it as 2 outs there, but back on track.
So man at first, 1 out. The 0-1 pitch will sail over the head of Muma, but the catcher springs up Ocampo to keep the runner at first. So Farr is retired for the first out, striking out. Mandino put back to first, and a 1-1 count now to Easton Muma in the lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch is tapped down the third baseline, foul. That is strike 2 to Easton. Not too much wind. It is blowing out towards right field currently. A nice, relatively large American flag down the right field line. Just a gentle breeze. Keep the air moving through the ballpark, and a very nice day. Mid-70s as the 1-2 pitch will miss high, and Ocampo springs up to grab that baseball to keep the runner at first. Still 2. It's now 2-2 with that pitch high. Easton Muma has gone 1 for 3 today. A run scored. 2-2. On the ground, right side, and it gets through the hole into right field for a base hit. Mandino wheels his way all the way to third base. It's now 1st and 3rd. Only a single out for Santa Barbara in the 5th.
Well done by Sawyer Farr to get that one, by Muma, excuse me, to get that one to the right field, and Mandino showing off his wheels once again, going from 1st to 3rd. Another baseball actually came into the field of play there for a brief second by the third base line. Luckily, didn't affect things too much, and third base coach Steve Shuck just picked it back up and returned it to the dugout of the bullpen, of the Barons.
First pitch to Hoover, turns away from it, but ends up hitting him. He was turning away counterclockwise away from that slider from Jimmy Welsher, ends up hitting him on his right side. That's going to load up the bases. Mandino advanced to third on the single by Mumma, who moves down to second on the hit by pitch that Caleb Hoover picks up. So he is aboard for the second time today after his RBI single in the last inning. And yet again, the bases are loaded for Santa Barbara.
Second inning in a row where gotten themselves in this situation. Welsher did a good job of getting out of that jam in the fourth. No runs on the board yet in the fifth.
10 for the score. First pitch now is slicing down the left field line. Foul off the bat of Brenton Clark. Brenton today, he's gone 1 for 2. Also has a walk and a run scored.
Yeah, Clark, his one hit was a triple down opposite field line. That foul ball going in the similar direction, just a little too late and a little too under it.
Infield at double play depth, looking for a ground ball to get out of this inning, not allowing a run. The 0-1. Squaring around to bunt is Clark. It's down the first baseline. The pitcher comes off the hill, tried to just glove flip it over to first. Couldn't make the play, and a run's going to come in to score. Clark is aboard. Fantastic work from Brenton. Brings home the 11th run of this game. Mandino scores. Couldn't really do too much of that if you're the pitcher.
Yeah, but he was still frustrated with himself. Hits his glove in anger. Welsher, tough play to make if you're a pitcher. Unlucky. I suppose as a two-way player, you kind of expect yourself to make that grab.
He just tried to flip it with his glove off the grass to the first baseman. Couldn't do it. And now the first pitch is on the ground to the third baseman. The hopper to the third baseman to get an out at second. Can't make a throw to first. It was Easton Ruley who just stood in and will reach base on a fielder's choice on the attempted 5-4-3 double play. Clark is a force-out victim at second for the second out. That ball was chopped to the third baseman, and Ruley on one pitch is able to bring home another run. It's now 12-4 Santa Barbara. Runners on the corners now for Brady Dallimore. The pitch. The slider's going to miss down and in, ball 1.
Yeah, on that run right there, Nielsen, the former quarterback, showing why he's now focusing a little bit more on baseball. Aaron throw over at third that stopped the double play from being successful.
1-0 pitch. And will miss inside on the delivery from Jimmy Welsher to Brady Dallimore. That is ball 2. Every inning, Santa Barbara has scored at least one run. They have 2 in the 5th, now leading 12-4. The 2-0. Dallimore will spit on an off-speed, takes a strike. He didn't think so, but it's 2-1. Caleb Hoover, who was hit by a pitch, is at third. That first is Ruley. Ruley will take off, and he's caught between first and second base, but an errant throw from the first baseman. Ruley was caught on between first and second when the baseball is in the hands of the first baseman, but the throw wasn't on target, and as a result, Ruley down to second base.
Very fortunate there for Ruley there. Aaron throw allowed him to slide in. I still think he was thinking about going in for second, even if he was caught in the pickle.
Now the 2-1. Dallimore launches one straight in the air. The catcher moves back into the backstop, has real estate, but it will fall just about a foot in front of the backstop, and that will be strike 2 on Brady.
Tough play for Ocampo. It's hard to see in these matinee games where the sun is shining bright.
Pretty much straight overhead. Team showed up, of course, with the sun moving towards the third base dugout. That's where due west is located with the direction and orientation of this ballpark. But second and third, the 2-2 pitch. High fly ball into shallow right field. Will it be deep enough? Making the catch out and right is Klinowski. And coming home, that was the third out of the inning after the force out, and that will retire the side. So Dallimore, a fly-out victim in the right, and the side retire, but Santa Barbara bring home 2 more runs in the 5th. Go to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara now leading 12-4 over the Barons.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties. And as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the fifth inning, and Santa Barbara have tacked on 2 more runs. They now lead 12-4 over the MLB Academy Barons. Tyler Fino, who had a fantastic 3-up, 3-down in the fourth, back out there to face 2, 3, and 4. He looked fantastic.
Absolutely, Hunter. I mean, just got the strikeout stuff going. But, I mean, I want to go back to that diving grab from Sawyer Farr. I didn't really get to talk about it too much. Just Superman and extension as you described it. Beautiful play, showing why he's one of the better defenders on this team and why he's trusted so much both in the infield and in the outfield.
And the batter will be Antonio Lujan to lead off for the Barons. They scored all 4 of their runs in the second, have not scored since. Here comes the first pitch from Fino. It's going to miss down on a check swing in the dirt for ball 1.
Fino, very successful high school career in Minnesota. Top 5 right-handed pitcher in his year in the state.
Batting from the left side against the righty, Fino. The 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, nearly dropping to a knee. A little movement on that last pitch from Tyler. 1-1.
And that swing and miss stuff had 132 strikeouts and over around 93 innings of work over at Champlain Park.
And Fino coming set, wearing 25 on the hill. The 1-1 pitch is going to miss away. It's like a running fastball for ball 2. Infield playing straight away, with the exception of the shortstop playing a fraction shaded towards second base. Playing a double play depth. Infield, I should say the outfield, straight away. And the leadoff man will now see the 2-1 pitch. That's down in the dirt on the fastball from Fino. Ball 3.
Good job holding up there by Lujan. Fino's had a couple of pitches down low, below the bottom half of the zone. We come back with a fastball here to find it and get the count to full.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. And that's in there, but tossing the lumbers, Lujan takes a called strike, says, my bad, touches his chest, receives the lumber back. Full count. Lujan
Surely you can't strike out after doing that, Hunter.
He's reached base once today on a walk. Man for the Barons will look to try to do that here, but Fino, the 3-2 pitch, induces a chopper over to second base. Keithley holds his ground, and the throw to first will be in time. And Lujan won't K, but will ground out to second, 1 away in the 5th.
Yeah, good job there by Keithley to adjust. It took a bit of a weird hop, maybe a little lower than what he expected, but made the adjustment, picked up the grab, and fielded it over to first, where Hoover did the rest.
1 out, base is clear, and the Stars do lead 12-4. Bottom of 5 from the MLB Academy. The batter now will be Gavin Taylor. Bats from the right side. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss on the first delivery from Fino. Strike 1.
Great breaking ball there to induce the swing and miss.
Taylor today is 0 for 2, has struck out, and a fly out to center. His first look at Tyler. The 0-1 delivery goes right back to that breaking ball for strike 2. Ball Taylor will be Jacob Klinowski. In the infield now truly straight away. And Fino is the first man out of the pen today. More on that in a moment. The 0-2 pitch is a slider down in the dirt for ball 1. We were told after Fino, whenever his time on the hill will be complete, Noah Waldeck would be the second man out of the bullpen. We'd expect Waldeck to follow that order. I should say Scott Murray to follow that order and bring in Waldeck next. After Fino, the 1-2 pitch is in there, called strike 3. Taylor will go down looking on a fastball from Tyler.
I mean, what I really like about what Fino is doing is sometimes you get them with the strikeouts, with the swing and miss stuff, with the great movement. But he's also done a really good job inducing the weak contact and getting ground balls. Few different ways to get outs is just so crucial and something that, you really like if you're Bill Pintard and the coaching staff for the Foresters.
To that point, Nate faced 5 batters, retired all 5 that he has faced since entering in the 4th. With 2 out, first pitch now to Klinowski. Off speed will miss away for ball 1.
Second straight batter, he goes to the breaking ball first pitch.
Klinowski is 1 for 1, a walk and a run scored. 1-0 pitch. Fouls off the fastball into the backstop behind the plate. 1-1. And continuing that line of thought on relief pitchers to follow Waldeck, Elliot Gallegos, the UCSB Gaucho, would be the third man out of the bullpen should he be needed. Fino is looking good now. We are in the bottom of the 5th, and Waldeck would be slated next to pitch. The 1-1 is in there for a fastball, strike 2. The Foresters, 12 runs in just 5 innings. Yesterday, they played at 14. Unbelievable, the offense the last 2 days. With 2 out, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 6 up, 6 down for Tyler Fino, and he is rolling on the hill in his Forester debut. We'll go to the 6th. The Sturs lead 12-4 over the Barons.
12-4.
Now into the 6th inning from the MLB Academy on the campus of Compton College. New arm entering for the Barons. Wilfredo Valenzuela will face 8-9-1 against the Foresters.
Yeah, Valenzuela, right-handed pitcher from Fullerton College, working with a couple of different pitches. That fastball will have some movement to it. We'll call it a sinker, Hunter.
And Valenzuela will wind up the first pitch. It looks like he went to that sinker and taps it down the first base line outside of first. Foul.
Yeah, Gambardella coming to the plate here. Has done a good job of getting on, as you mentioned, whether it's the walk or the hit by pitch.
And the 0-1 to Vince, catcher today, on its way, swing and a miss for strike 2.
I feel like with the hit by pitches, you know, it's like, I want to get my hits here, but if I have to take the base, like, I will take it. I mean, and of course they do sting, you know, like it's.
Oh yeah.
But you'll take it if you're Gambardella.
He's behind here, the 0-2 pitch on the ground, right side. Tough play for the second baseman. Backhands it, but won't even throw over to first. And Vince is aboard for the 4th time this game.
That's the first hit.
First hit of the season for Vince.
All done by Gambardella. Tough play to make for the second baseman, Williams. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Keithley.
1 for 3 today. Base hit in the center, which scored a run. He also, on that occasion, came around to score. Bats from the right side. First pitch is a fastball tapped and chopped down the third baseline. Foul, and Trundle's out of play for strike 1.
Sturs have scored in every single inning of this game.
Yeah, the breakdown crazy. 1 in the first, 5 in the second. Opened things up for 4 runs by the Barons in the second to make things interesting. So now the 0-1 to Keithley. We'll have to wait on a check to the ran at first. 3 in the third inning, 1 run. 3 in the fourth, 5 in the second. Can they keep that
2
going?
2 in the fifth, I think. Oh, yeah, 5 in the second as well, yeah.
And 2 in the fifth, correct, yeah. I don't know if I'm
Flipping around, I know.
flip-flopped that. Hold on the hill for Valenzuela. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss from Keithley. Actually, foul tips it back in the glove of Ocampo. Strike 2, however, on Liam.
And if you carry over from yesterday, they scored in the final 2 innings of the game against the Oaks. That is 7 straight innings with a Santa Barbara run.
Good point. The offense has been a machine the last 2 days. The 0-2 to Keithley takes the slider down. Ball 1. After Keithley will be Maddox Mandino back to the top of the order. That gentle breeze blowing out towards right. On a perfect day. Not too hot with the wind, not too cold. The cloud in the sky. Man at first, nobody out. 8-run lead for the Sturs. The 1-2 pitch is popped up and over the first base dugout, out of play.
It's the golf cart that's parked there.
Right next to the Eldridge Eatman Pavilion. The clubhouse for all the MLB Academy players.
It really has to be said how incredible of a setup it is over here.
Mm-hmm. Baseball, all the baseball fields, softball fields, a football field as well at Compton College. Now the 1-2 to Keithley. He will chop it nearly a carbon copy. Last chopper he had outside of third.
Yeah, the MLB Academy, established here in 2006, has produced a lot of really solid players that got their first opportunity here. You think of Aaron Hicks, J.P. Crawford, Dominic Smith, Hunter Green, just a few of the many that learned baseball here.
The off man is at first, nobody out. 2-2 pitch as called strike 3 on Liam Keithley. And he will walk back to the first base dugout, goes down looking. Looks like the slider from Valenzuela got him looking, 1 out in the 6th.
Beautiful off-speed pitch there that just found the zone. Valenzuela, some solid strikeout stuff, had 16 Ks in 22 innings at Fullerton College.
That's going to bring up Maddox Mandino to the plate for the 5th time today, and we're just in the 6th inning as a check to the man at first base. Gambardella, who picked up his first hit of the year, in safely, and Maddox yesterday, who was in the top spot in the order in all 3 games, had 6 plate appearances yesterday, and recording his 5th right now on the top of 6. Here's the pitch, and the fastball will miss upstairs, ball 1.
Gambardella thought about going there. Definitely has some speed on the base paths.
Already has a stolen base today. That was his first of the year. Now the 1-0 pitch to Maddox. It's in there on the sinker, 1-1.
And it's really valuable if a guy like Gambardella, who can get on base so often, can also advance on the base paths due to his aggressiveness and speed.
Gotten aboard 3 times today, has Mandino. 1 out, man at first, Sturs leading 12-4. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It was the slider, nearly drop into a knee. Was Maddox, strike 2.
Massive hack there by Mandino.
All 3 times Mandino has been aboard. He has come around to score. Scored 3 of the 12 runs in the run column today for the Sturs. Behind in the count here. Infield keenly watching the 1-2 pitch. Will miss well high on the fastball. 2-2. Look at the history between these two teams. When you look back to last year, the Sturs won the season series, taking 2 out of the 3 games. Did lose the final game of the regular season to the Barons at their home field. They're in a good spot today. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball in right field. Klinowski has to move in. The runner will hold at first base. And there's the second out. Mandino, the fly out into right. Klinowski is out there to record the out. 2 down in the 6th.
It's pretty solid off the bat, but just kind of died out and right. Unfortunate for Mandino, was just a little too under it. Timed it up really well, though.
That's going to bring up Sawyer. Switch hitter to bat from the left side against the righty, Wilfredo Valenzuela, who's in his first inning in relief work for the MLB Academy Barons. 2 out, man at first. Here's the pitch. It's going to be that sinker in there for a strike. And Sawyer today, he's gone 1 for 3. He struck out twice, but has 2-run single, which was in order to walk, and scored a run as well. Also, those great defensive plays that we've highlighted as well. A hold on the hill, the strike 1 pitch. The slider is chopped outside of first base. Strike 2. And even though we are just in the 6th inning, and you look at this road trip to start the year for Santa Barbara, the first 6 games on the road, a little bit different compared to at least last year. All the road games were intertwined with home games at Santa Barbara High School. 3 more games still on the road, but now the 0-2 pitch is swirled back behind the home plate, halfway up the screen.
I don't know. I feel like I personally do prefer stacking the road trips if you are Santa Barbara, just because the location, the remoteness of the team compared to others in the division can be such an advantage. I mean, it was a 4-hour drive down to Orange County on opening day. Now, as the season goes on, other teams are going to have to deal with that, the couple-hour drive up the coast to SB.
That's a good point. A lot of time in the bus so far early in the year. But with 2 out, man at first, the 0-2 pitch is drilled in or right, slicing away from the right fielder, and it's going to the base of the wall. Extra bases coming up from far, and Gambardella from first base is coming home, and the throw will be cut off, and actually looked like it went out of play again.
It's a couple of times now that's happened here. Very unfortunate for the Sturs, who've done a really good job of getting extra base hits here today. Just a great piece of hitting by Sawyer Farr. Exactly what you want to see from the switch hitter, batting from the left-hand side there. Early swung on it and just got some good bat right to the wall. Great piece of hitting from Sawyer Farr.
So again, that ball going out of play down in the outfield corner.
Crucially, that kept
Gambardella
at third. Couldn't come across the plate there.
Gambardella would have likely have scored if that ball was just stayed in place. So an automatic double for Farr, who's at second. Gambardella held at third, and the batter now Muma. First pitch will skip in and get past the catcher, but holding at third base is Gambardella.
Farr had an idea to go, but Gambardella stood strong, held up, showing trust in his teammate Muma to bring him home.
And also Gambardella with his hands on his hips, maybe also a courtesy play too when you're up 12-4. That ball didn't get too far away, but didn't look like he was any inclination to even try to make a movement home. It's 1-0 now to Muma. And Valenzuela, the second pitch, will miss away on his fastball, ball 2. Gambardell, who is at third. All 4 times he's been at the plate, reaching base. Sawyer Farr picks up his second hit. The rulebook double in right. Comes the 2-0 to Muma. And he's going to spit on it. It's going to miss away, down and away at the knees. This is ball 3.
Really tough for Valenzuela. You have 2 on. You're down to your final out. You miss 3 straight pitches. Brutal for the Baron.
Here's the pitch. And that's going to be in there this time on the sinking fastball from Valenzuela. Strike 1. Easton has gone 2 for 4. 2 base hits today.
I was going to say you also do have the open base, so it's not the end of the world to walk Muma.
Valenzuela in the middle of the hill. 3-1 pitch on the ground to the second baseman. Fields it off 2 hops as Williams, and the throw to first will be in time to retire Easton. And the Sturs leave 2 stranded in scoring position. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Santa Barbara leading 12-4 over the MLB Academy Barons. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Back on the campus at Compton College, Tyler Fino has entered in the 4th inning, tossed 2 innings, faced 6 and retired 6, remains on the hill for the Santa Barbara Foresters. He's going to face 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Barons, and the leadoff batter will be Jason Del VR. Stand in for just the 3rd time today. Here comes the first pitch from Tyler. It's going to be a fastball in there for a strike. Nothing in 1. Nate, when you look at what these 2 teams have done, Del VR, the number 5 batter, is just recording his 3rd plate appearance of the day, and so far, the next inning, the Sturs are going to have their 5th plate appearance of the day in that same spot. Now the 0-1 pitch on its way. A slider is going to be in there, strike 2.
And a very similar discrepancy to yesterday as well, where you mentioned it, Mandino, a couple other Stars went through 6 at-bats. Nearly there, and it's only the 6th inning. I mean, just doing a great job of passing, going up and down through the order.
And here comes 0-2 to the leadoff man. And the slider's going to miss away. That is ball 1.
And I think crucially as well, that's getting you a lot of experience early on in the season. Just each at bat is a battle, and you're becoming battle tested as the season goes on so early and so important for the Foresters.
1-2 pitch from Fino. The slider missing down. Gambardella tried to bring it up and frame it. To no success, 2-2. And getting a bunch of different guys, too. You have Liam Keithley, who's collected his first hit in his first start of the season at second base. Good defensive plays as well. It's the 2-2 pitch on its way, and over to Keithley at second, holds his ground, and the throw to first will be in time. One away in the bottom of the sixth.
You mentioned Keithley getting his first hit of the season. Gambardella got his first hit of the season. Caleb Hoover got his first hit of the season.
Correct.
So a couple of three Forster players getting their first hits of the young 2025 summer.
That's always good, getting that first one out of the way. A couple times, especially if you come up to the plate, don't have the best result. Even though if you are getting on base, great to get that first knock. And the base is clear, one out. That's going to bring up Hunter Backstrom, the lefty bat. First pitch. Fastball missing high and away. Ball one.
It absolutely takes a burden off of your shoulder, Hunter, I would say. I mean, there's always going to be that pressure. It's just like, yeah, I'm getting on base, but it doesn't feel like I deserve it because I want to get these hits. To get that burden off is just so massive and really can build confidence for a player.
The 1-0 now to Backstrom. Check swing, but the fastball located on the outer half to even the count. Center fielder today has gone 0 for 2. Did reach on the fielder's choice, but Cade looking. Was against Kahalikai, the starter today. The 1-1 pitch. The slider is located bottom half of the zone. 1-2 now to the number 6 batter, Backstrom.
Backstrom, a dangerous hitter, had an average above 400 this past season with West Los Angeles College.
He's at the play with one out. Bases clear. Sturs leading 12-4. 1-2 pitch. Missing high. Like the changeup that time from Fino. 2-2.
Fino's been really effective so far. As the outing's going on, maybe signs of fatigue here.
2-2 to Backstrom. Is down in the dirt. Good cover by Gambardella, even though no one on base. Count full. And to that line of thought, Nate, Noah Waldeck was slated to be the second man out of the bullpen. Fino took over in the fourth. He has gone 2 1/3. Tired every man he has faced. And winds up the 3-2 pitch to the center fielder for the Barons. Swing and a miss. Just barely topped it to stay alive and fell right at the base of Gambardella. And it remains 3-2.
Love the 3-2 off speed from Fino. Shows that he really trusts his stuff.
Deep breath on the hill for the Forster reliever. And the payoff pitch again to Backstrom on the ground to the first baseman. Hoover has to back up the first baseman a couple steps and wins the foot race to the first base bag. And Backstrom goes down 3 unassisted, 2 out in the 6th.
Well done by Caleb Hoover to make the play there defensively. We saw him struggle a bit early in the game on the unassisted plays, but that time just takes the weird bounce again, but he accounts for it, fields the ball, and beats the Baron to the base path. Will bring up J.J. Nielsen now.
Forster's leading 12-4. Bases is clear, 2 out, bottom of 6. Here comes the first pitch to J.J. And it's in there for a strike, a fastball, 0-1. Nielsen today has gone 0 for 2. Did bring home a run when he grounded into a fielder's choice, and he has struck out. Infield playing straight away. The 0-1 pitch, slider, swing and a miss, strike 2.
What you do have to think about with Nielsen, about the history of guys who've been able to play both baseball and football. There's a lot of great names that manage to do both at such a high level.
As Fino with 2 out, the 0-2 pitch is lifted into center field, and into the right center field gap goes Maddox Mandino. The center fielder waves off everyone else and makes the squeeze. And Tyler Fino entered in the 4th and has retired 9 straight. Great work from the reliever for the Sturs. And we go to the 7th. Santa Barbara leads 12-4 over the Academy.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569 July 1982, or log on to trembleyfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back on the campus of Compton College, the Sturs coming to the plate, top of the 7th as they lead 12-4. Caleb Hoover, Brenton Clark, Easton Ruley will be coming to the plate. And one thing to note, Nate, we talked about all the runs that the Sturs have scored. The 6th inning, no runs, yet they still have 12 runs on the board.
Yeah, just really impressive display of offense. And even then, they had a couple guys in scoring position that they just couldn't bring home. So, it's just been a really effective lineup early on in the season. That's just so nice to see if you're Bill Pintard. There's always a concern about the guys coming over. Maybe, end of the season, a cold streak and a hot streak. It's just, baseball is such a streaky sport, and it can just end at any moment, those streaks. Santa Barbara starting off the season hot.
That's going to bring up the first batter to start off this inning, Caleb Hoover. Hoover today, he has gone 1 for 3, brought home a run and scored a run. Picking up his first hit of the summer. He's also been hit by a pitch, so twice aboard today for the first baseman. As Wilfredo Valenzuela winds up the first pitch to the big lefty, and Hoover slides back a fraction. That ball was coming in towards the dirt in his right leg. That will be ball 1 in the dirt.
I'm pretty sure that every single Forester now that has played in a game and is in a position, in a hitting position, has gotten a hit this season.
I believe you're correct, yes. Here comes the next pitch. We'll miss away to Hoover for ball 2. The only Sturs in the lineup today that didn't have a hit, Hoover, Gambardella, and Keithley. Keithley in his first start have all recorded hits today. And a good count now for Caleb. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Fastball is aligned into center field, falling fast and falling in front of the center fielder for a base hit. Hoover's thinking too. It looks like he's going to be thrown out, but it's going to be close, safe. There was a lot of time for the center fielder to maybe recover and throw out Hoover at second, but he slides in, stretching it for a double, and he's stirring it up at second.
That is the loudest I've heard the Santa Barbara dugout get out season long. They were super hyped up to see Caleb be aggressive on the base path, slide into second, absolutely fired up. The Forester players.
Second hit of the day for Caleb to set the table for Brenton Clark. Lefty bat stands in. He's gone 2 for 3 with a walk and brought home a run. Valenzuela looks to second, picking up the leadoff double. Here's the first pitch to Clark, and that's going to be down. Fastball missing low, ball 1. And with this 12-4 lead, Santa Barbara was one of 2 teams entering today still undefeated in the CCL. The other team was San Diego Waves, an affiliate of the CCL South. Now the 1-0 pitch to Brenton Clark is a fastball down the left field line, slicing and falls in front of the left fielder. Holding up at third is Caleb Hoover, and runners will be on the corners for Santa Barbara.
It's such a plus ability to have a hitter that can hit it into the opposite field like Brenton Clark. He got the triple for his first hit of the day into the opposite field, and that time goes opposite field again, showing the oppo power, and gets in there for a no-out single. Runners in the corners now for Easton Ruley.
And now for Clark, make it 3 for 4 with a walk. And Ruley will stand in for the 5th time today. He has brought home 4 of the 12 runs on the board. He has also plated one himself. First and third, nobody out. And Valenzuela First pitch to Rulli, and it nearly hits him on his left ribs, but it will miss on the fastball for ball 1. And you look at the lineup all the way through for Santa Barbara. 8 of the 9 players have recorded a hit today, but everyone at least has reached base. And also everyone has at least plated 1 run, 1 through 9. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Is on the ground to the third baseman. Might be 2. They get 1 at second. The throw to first will be in time. 5-4-3 to turn 2, and the runner at holds.
Really thought he was in time. Very close play at first. Great job to turn a double play. Some clutch fielding there for the Barons, who are just an out away from getting themselves out of another hole for the second inning in a row. Excuse me.
And Hoover had the leadoff double. Is at third. Here's the pitch now to Dallimore, as he will stand in for the 5th time. We'll take the first pitch, off-speed strike. Brady worked the walk, ground out to short, pair of flyouts into right. With 2 out. Still a man at third. 12-4 the score. Santa Barbara, they lead. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Dallimore drills it to center, left center field, and it's down for a hit. In from third base is Hoover, and going to second base is Brady Dallimore, and he picks up his first hit of the day. And every single Forester have now recorded a hit in this game.
Stirring it up over there at second in celebration is Dallimore. That one just a really nice hit. Gets over the head of the center fielder of the Barons. And despite not scoring a run in the 6th, that's another inning now. 6 to the 7 in this game, where the Sturs have put a number on the board.
11-14. RBI double by Dallimore to bring to the plate Gambardella. First pitch will be in there for a strike.
Of course, the Sturs have matched their hit total from last night's game. Just the 7th inning, 16 so far today.
Gambardella has reached base on all 4 occasions. Here's the 0-1. He nearly gets hit on the right ankle with the ball in the dirt, ball in a strike.
I don't know, maybe a thought to be had is they just see the ball better in the daylight when, that opening night game was under the lights in OC. Now a couple of sunny afternoon games in a row. Maybe seen the ball a little better, Hunter.
As the 1-1 pitch on the ground and chopped outside of first base. With 2 outs, now 1-2, and man still remains at second base. And on that line of thought with night games, not too many true night games this season. Their next game will be at 6:05 local time on Tuesday down in Pasadena. Most of the games, either 4 o'clock or day games, true afternoon games around 1 o'clock start times that the Foresters will be playing this season during the regular year. Vince Gambardella, the lefty batter, has to protect the plate. 1-2 pitch to Vince. That's down in the dirt, and it's going to hit him. Another hit by pitch for Vince Gambardella. It hit his back foot as it was skipping in, a slider in the dirt. He has now been hit by a pitch 4 times this season in 2.5 games. He's got 2 walks today and an infield single.
Well, this is just his second appearance, so it's been truly 4 hit by pitches in 2 games. I mean,
yes.
You can call it luck, you can call it bad luck, but he's getting on base, and that's all that counts. I mean, I'm kind of laughing about this. It's kind of funny to see all the HBPs going to just one guy.
Here comes the first pitch now to the number 9 batter, Keithley. It's chopped over to the third baseman. Tough play, and it goes under his glove, and it's going to be Keithley reaching base on the infield batted ball. We'll see how it goes down. The third baseman, J.J. Nielsen, charged in, tried to make a play on it, but it squirted under his glove. But the bases will be loaded. Dallimore to third. Gambardella, who was just hit by the pitch, to second, and it will go down as an infield single for Liam Keithley. To load up the bases for Maddox Mandino. It's a 13-4 game, top of 7, 2 out in the 7th. And Maddox, who bats from the left side, will now see the first pitch from Valenzuela. Here it is. On the ground, up the middle, tough play, and we'll get through into center field for a base hit. 1 run in. Gambardella from second will come in, and a 2-run single for Maddox Mandino. And Santa Barbara have now plated 15 runs through 6 2/3.
Pinch me if you've heard this one before. RBI single from Maddox Mandino, the Stars RBI leader. Entering today, picking up where he left off, comes to the plate with runners in scoring position and takes advantage time and time again. That is just so valuable for Santa Barbara.
It's going to be first and second. Keithley with the infield single to second base to give way to Sawyer Farr, the 8th batter of this inning for the Sturs. Valenzuela has conceded 3 runs in the 7th inning. Here's the pitch to the switch hitter. Breaking ball will miss high, ball 1.
4th inning today where the Sturs have put up multiple runs on the board. They do it in bunches, Santa Barbara.
And Sawyer today has had a great day at the plate. The 1-0 pitch. That's going to miss away, ball 2. And really, you can say that about everyone for the Foresters today. Everyone has recorded a hit. Everyone has scored a run, 1 through 9. And so they lead 15-4, 2 out. Runners at first and runners at second. Valenzuela falls behind a Farr 2-0 pitch. It is a sinker in there on the outside edge, 2-1.
Should be noted, starting to get some movement in that MLB Academy bullpen down the left field line.
Look back to second for the relief pitcher for the Barons. 2-1 offering is a ground ball to the second baseman, but past him into right field for a base hit for Sawyer. Holding up at third base is Keithley, and the base is loaded as Sawyer picks up his 3rd hit of the day. He's on for the 4th time.
Absolutely incredible stuff from Sawyer Farr. Should mention the shift was absolutely in play there. 3 infielders down the right field line. Sawyer Farr beats it. Way to get on and load the bases for Easton Moomaw.
The 9th batter of this inning. And here comes first pitch to Easton, who's got 2 hits today. First pitch will miss away on changeup, ball 1. I know we talked about in the 6th inning for Santa Barbara, the 5th plate appearance for Mandino, but now these hitters, recording their 6th plate appearance of the day. Here's the 1-0, and slicing foul down the left field line, and that will be strike 1 on Easton Moomaw. Pair of groundouts to short to start the day, and a pair of base hits into right. Both times he came around to score. Then a ground out to second today for the 3rd baseman. No, Nate, you're even talking about this, getting all the guys opportunities to see live ABs, but building confidence for everyone 1 through 9. The base is loaded, the 1-1 pitch. As Moomaw will see a fastball away, ball 2.
And that's especially crucial for a, Foresters lineup that isn't at full strength yet. They still have a few guys to join them from other colleges. Just having everyone step up, really crucial for Bill Pintard.
Hold on the hill. Now the 2-1 pitch with 2 out will miss away. Change up for ball 3. And Moomaw, again, is the 9th batter of this inning. Caleb Hoover, who led off this inning, stands on deck. 15-4 the score. The Foresters lead. All these games in the CCL pushing towards the NBC tournament come July. The 3-1 will miss away. Change up, ball 4. And the Sturs have batted around in the 7th. And that's also going to bring in the run from third base. Keithley's going to score RBI walk for Moomaw. And the bases will remain loaded for Caleb Hoover. And it looks like we'll have a pitching change for Kenny Landreau. The day will be done for Wilfredo Valenzuela. He will be relieved of duty, and a new arm will be coming in. Santa Barbara just plated their 16th run of the day. 2 out in the 7th, and the bases remain loaded for Caleb Hoover.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569 569-1982 or log on to trembleyfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
The new arm for the Barons will be Hudson LaBarbera. He's going to face Caleb Hoover as the Sturs have batted around in the 7th. Bases loaded, 2 out. Here comes the first pitch to Caleb. It's on the ground to the second baseman. He charges in. It's Williams, and the throw to first will be in time as Hudson LaBarbera, the relief pitcher, comes in, gets the ground ball to relieve and retire Hoover, but Santa Barbara pushed in 4 more runs in this 7th. We go to the bottom of the inning. Sturs leading 16-4 over the Barons.
16-4. All right, fans, how to get up out of those seats. Stand up and stretch those legs.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to trembleyfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back on the campus of Compton College at the MLB Academy, the Foresters leading, 16-4. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot for the Sturs in their offense. Every man has recorded a hit. Every man has scored a run, highlighted by 5 runs in the 2nd and 4 runs in the 7th, as a new arm will be coming in for the Sturs in the bottom of the 7th frame. Noah Waldeck.
Yeah, what a active follow-up by Tyler Fino. 9 up, 9 down. For the last 3 innings, Noah Waldeck comes up here, the 6'5" righty Pintard, clearly electing for some height out of his pitchers.
And here comes the first pitch, and it's inducing a ground ball up the middle, but it's going to be a base hit for Isaac Ocampo. Takes a chopper right back up the heart of the field, and that's the first base runner for the Barons since the leadoff man in the 3rd.
Yeah, can't be too bothered there, though, if you're Waldeck. That was some weak contact. It's just no one was there in the infield. Gets in the gap and towards Mandino out in center. Leadoff man on. How does Waldeck respond?
That's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, DJ Akiyama. In this 16-4 ball game with the first pitch, fastball missing away, ball 1. Akiyama 1 for 2. Base hit in the left, an RBI, a run scored, and struck out. But at this point in the ball game, through 7, this is the 3rd plate appearance for Akiyama. There have been 5 plate appearances for the 9-hole hitter for Santa Barbara. The 1-0 is a fastball down for ball 2. That'll tell you a lot just with, well, if every man has a hit, every man has scored a run, and 19 hits rather, on the scoreboard for Santa Barbara in this game.
Incredible. Still 2 more innings to go for that lineup.
2-0, and the fastball will miss down for ball 3. Leadoff man reached base, Isaac Ocampo. Top of the order is on deck in the form of Nathaniel Williams, and these two teams will meet also next week on Thursday down here at the MLB Academy. But the 3-0, Akiyama will take it the other way into left field for a base hit, and back-to-back knocks for the Barons to start off the 7th.
Way to string together some hits from the Academy. That time Akiyama with a hard hit ball past the shortstop into the left center gap. Well placed for the shortstop. The switch hitter as well now brings up the second of 3 switch hitters in a row in Williams.
And Noah Waldeck, the reliever, the right-hander, making his Foresters debut this afternoon. Plays collegiately with St. Mary's, just finished up his redshirt sophomore year. Some traffic behind him. He's facing now the top of the order in the form of Williams. Here's the pitch. Fastball is chopped to the shortstop. Might be 2. They flip to the second baseman. The throw to first will not be in time. It was a good pick from Hoover. It pulled him towards the outfield. But they do get the force out at second, and it'll be runners on the corners, 1 out.
Nice to get that first out. I do think, though, even if that throw was a little bit more online, I think Williams would have beat it. Solid speed from the leadoff man.
And for Noah Waldeck, actually his last appearance on the hill was in an NCAA regional in an elimination game against Oregon State. That's when St. Mary's went to the Corvallis Regional earlier this month. Runners on the corners, 16-4. The scoreline, Santa Barbara leads. Here's the first pitch, and Lujan sees a ball in the dirt. Good cover by Gambardella for ball 1.
One of a couple guys who was at that Corvallis Regional. Of course, TCU was there. Obviously, the previous pitcher, Tyler Finau, made the trip out to Oregon State.
It's great to see all the players here on this Foresters lineup and roster that have been able to play in high-profile games such as regionals and many playing in the super regionals. Here's the 1-0, and this is lined to the shortstop off one hop, but it gets past Rulli. He went down to his knees, and a run will come in to score. Rulli, still on his knees, knew he might have been able to make that play as it skipped past him on one hop. He was on his knees, couldn't field it. An RBI single for Antonio Lujan. That is the 5th run of the game for the Barons.
Surprised not to see that scored as an error on Rulli. I mean, just felt like a pretty easy ball to field there, but just got down on his knees. Maybe was caught surprised by it almost.
It'll go down on the scoreboard as a hit, and that's going to bring up Gavin Taylor with a run in. First and second, 1 out. Here comes the first pitch to the number 3 batter. Off speed's going to miss down for ball 1. It's in the dirt.
Back to your point about, that St. Mary's team, what a year it was for the Gales. That was only their 2nd ever NCAA tournament appearance on the WCC. Great year for the Gales.
The 1-0 pitch to Taylor. Big swing and a miss. Confused on that last pitch from Waldeck. Sped him up with the fastball 1-1.
Waldeck definitely contributed a lot to that great season. Some really impressive appearances in conference play, including 3 perfect innings against Pacific back on May 4th.
And Waldeck looking to find his rhythm now, playing with the Foresters. Looks back to second with 1 out. The 1-1 pitch. The runner from second goes to third. No throw down from Gambardella, and it'll be a stolen bag for Williams. And runners will once again be on the corners with 1 out in the 7th.
Smart play there by Gambardella not to force the throw to third, as likely that would have meant the runner at first would have gone as well. Keeps the double play ball in effect here for Waldeck, who's forced a couple of weak contact over to short.
It's 2-1. Here's the pitch to Taylor. Painted nicely off the fastball on the inside edge, 2-2.
Great bounce back there for the tall righty.
Wind's picking up a little bit out towards right field, straight away down the foul pole. I should say down the line to the foul pole. But first and third, looking for a ground ball. 16-5 the score. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Looked like he went around no on the check down to the first base umpire on the high fastball. That's ball 3 instead.
And to that point about, the tall pitchers, Kahalakai, 6'8", Thino, 6'6", Waldeck, 6'5". Clearly a bit of MO here from Bill Pintard.
Second base is open with 1 out. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Gavin Taylor. Fastball is just tapped back towards the third base on deck circle. Man's 3-2. And with Waldeck, we just named all the pitchers. Waldeck being the second man out of the pen today. We're informed if the Sturs needed a third arm out of the bullpen, Elliot Gallegos, Santa Barbara Gaucho, would be the third man out. Waldeck looks for a ground ball to get out of this inning. First and third, 1 out. Here's a payoff pitch, and it's going to be down on a slider, ball 4. And Gavin Taylor will reach for the first time today to load the bases with the walk.
But not the end of the world here. You got double play ball in effect, 1 out. Still in not the ideal position here, but I do think Waldeck can get out of this. He's gotten out of some jams before. Came in bases loaded against Utah Tech back on March 9th and managed to strike out the batter he faced there to close out a win against Utah Tech.
Bases loaded, single out. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Jacob Klinowski, who's gone 1 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch. Fastball located perfectly on the outer edge to the lefty batter, strike 1.
Good spot and way to get ahead for Waldeck.
Noah enters after Tyler Fino went three perfect innings as the 0-1 pitch is spoiled back over the third base dugout into the ravine, which runs parallel down the left field line for strike 2. So Waldeck quickly ahead, nothing in 2. A run in the 7th inning for the Barons. It's a 16-5 lead for Santa Barbara. Yes, 11 runs up for the Sturs in the bottom of the 7th. Waldeck looks for a ground ball, at least looks to get the second out against Klinowski. Here's the pitch. Fastball, check swing will miss low, ball 1.
Very close to going around there was Klinowski. Managed to pull back his swing in time and not get the crucial second out that Waldeck so desperately wants.
And Noah working from the middle of the hill. Gets the signs from Vince Gambardella. Base is loaded with Barron's 1-2 pitch on the ground to the shortstop. Chance for 2. They flip. They get 1 at second base to first. Oh, yes. 6-4-3 to turn 2 and get out of the inning. Waldeck induces the ground ball. Only a single run comes in for the Barons, and we head to the 8th. Sturs lead 16-5.
In the lineup of the 7th inning for the Barons, there was 1 run on 3 hits.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties. And as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back on the campus of Compton College at the MLB Academy, the Santa Barbara Foresters playing in their third game of the season, lead 16-5 over the Academy Barons. Everything has been rolling, especially on the offensive end, Nate.
Absolutely, Hunter. I mean, 19 hits, 16 runs. I think what's really impressed me about today is we've seen a few more extra base hits than what we've seen. Yesterday a lot of it was on singles and walks and taking advantage of, a couple of balks and errors. This time it's just been a lot of passing the bats while they're hot. We've seen a few guys manage to find the gap here at the MLB Academy. Really impressive day from the offense for Santa Barbara.
Comes the first pitch to Brenton Clark. As relief pitcher Hudson LaBarbera fires the first pitch, induces a ground ball off one hop right back to the hill, and he animatedly trots back over to the first base bag and underhand flips it to his first baseman to record the first out of this inning. Clark grounds out 1-3.
2 pitches, 2 outs here for LaBarbera, I believe. He came in
Yes.
In the last inning, got a 1-pitch out. Does so again here.
Efficiency from the man who wears 52 for the Barons. So with 1 out, bases clear, that brings up Easton Ruley. That's from the right side. Here's the pitch, and the fastball will be missing away at the knees, ball 1.
Not going to hear me complain about that efficiency. Approaching the 3-hour mark here at Compton College.
Ruley standing in for the 6th time today. Just a few batters' time. Maddox Mandino will record his 7th plate appearance. Here's the 1-0. Fastball is fouled back halfway up the screen. Behind the plate, 1-1. Ruley will run through it. A walk, a run scored. RBI single, another 2 RBI single. Brought home a run on a fielder's choice and ground into a double play today. In his first 5 plate appearances. 4 RBIs for the shortstop. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball will miss high, ball 2.
Yeah, Ruley comes from a great shortstop pedigree. Was coached by Jack Wilson in high school at Thousand Oaks High School. Former All-Star and Silver Slugger for the Pirates in the mid-2000s.
Fantastic coaching staff to watch Ruley progress through his career as the 2-1 pitch, as the changeup will miss inside for ball 3. And with all these RBIs, the Sturs have played it today. Big thank you to Gold's Gym for sponsoring those RBIs. Gold's has 3 locations in Santa Barbara where the Foresters train to win. Gold's Gym. 1 out and the base is clear. Comes the 3-1 to Ruley. Fastball swinging a miss and swinging nearly out of the shoes, kind of corkscrewed in the other batter's box.
Yeah, very big swing right there from Wilson, from Ruley, of course. Jack Wilson, his son Jacob, is currently the A's everyday shortstop.
Did not know that. Nice.
Very impressive, yeah.
Payoff pitch. High fastball will miss upstairs. And a 1-out walk for Easton Ruley. Second walk of the day for the shortstop to go along with a pair of hits. And he will trot down to first to bring up Brady Dallimore.
Ocampo tried to drag that one to his own, but the home plate ump not biting on that call.
Hudson LaBarbera fires the first pitch to Dallimore. It's going to miss inside. Fastball, ball 1. Brady today has reached twice, scored 2 runs, and also brought home a run. The score 16-5, top of the 8th inning. Santa Barbara be 6 outs away, moving to 3-0 in CCL play. Here's the 1-0 pitch, as the fastball will miss away for ball 2.
Yeah, Dallimore last time up had one of the best hits I've seen a Forester player have all year. Just a gap shot, hard off the bat, over the head of a center fielder into that left center gap. Great piece of hitting from Dallimore.
Check to the man at first, in safely as Ruley in head first, no problem. Gambardella will be next on deck with 1 out, man at first, top of 8. Dallimore standing in for the 6th time today, batting at the 7-hole. Comes the 2-0 as the fastball is down in the dirt. Ocampo smothers it. It's now ball 3 to the DH, and Brady, like yesterday, was holding things down at first base. Caleb Hoover, first baseman today, as he was opening day a couple days back. The Barbara 3-0 pitch, and that one will be in there. Fastball, strike 1.
Of course, Dallimore also caught the opening day game against the Riptide. So just, showing that versatility again that we've talked about. That's so often required of these young players.
And all this building for Bill Pintard. To check back again to the man at first, in safely Ruley. Cloud of dust plumes up right at first base. Still remains 3-1 for Dallimore. Building towards the NBC, which hosted in Wichita, Kansas, and the Stars 10-time NBC champs. Here's the pitch, and that's down ball 4, and Dallimore board for the 3rd time today. Second walk given up by LaBarbera in this inning.
Good approach from Dallimore, works the walk. Great vision from the rising freshman at TCU.
Last time the Stars won the NBC, 2022. She was their 3rd in a row, 2021 and 22, while winning that championship over in Wichita. I'll bring up Vince Gambardella, bats from the left side. Here's the first pitch, and checks swing at the ball in the dirt, gets past the catcher. He doesn't know where it is. It's at the backstop, and both Stars will slowly trot down a free 90 and looking to steal one more. Coming home is Ruley, is going to score on a wild pitch, and the throw down to third base goes Dallimore. The catcher could not locate that ball. Could not find it. It was right up against the backstop, probably blending in, and he was looking, thing was at its feet, and essentially advancing 2 bases was Ruley comes in to score the 17th run of this game for Santa Barbara.
Just a lack of concentration behind the dish. He didn't know where it went, and then was just lackadaisical in retrieving the ball. Allows the run to come across.
Gambardella sees the second pitch. It looks like he went around. Yes, he did.
I was going to say, I mean, that got him there as well, so it could have been another HBP for Gambardella.
And it looks like Gambardella's saying he was hit on the swing. Now Bill Pintard coming out of the first base dugout. There was a swing for Gambardella. Looked like he was saying he was hit. Bill Pintard will go back to the first base dugout.
Getting some laughs on the way back as well.
Count now 0-2 on Vince, who has reached base every time he's been at the plate today. Unbelievable. With a runner at third, a run in, 1 out, 0-2 pitch is down ball 1. Vince has a walk, been hit by a pitch, stolen base, was walked again in the 4th, infield single in the 6th, hit by a pitch in the 7th, and he has scored 2 runs. And here comes the 1-2 delivery from LaBarbera. The off speed will miss away. 2-2.
Way to lay off that one from Gambardella, just showcasing that plate vision that's made him such a necessity for the Stars so far.
Setting the table for the top of the order. Gambardella at the 8th spot. Here's the 2-2, and that's rolled outside of first base. Off the barrel of Vince. Remains 2-2. Top of the 8th. 17-5 with Ruley scoring on a wild pitch. 19 hits on the scoreboard for Santa Barbara. And Hudson LaBarbera took over in the 6th inning. The 2-2 pitch will miss down and nearly hits the right ankle of Gambardella, but count now full.
I think probably, it kind of has to do with his stance. He just gets really close on the edge of that batter's box. Definitely has a wider stance as well.
Here's the 3-2, and that's going to be ball 4, missing away, and he's done it again. Vince Gambardella on board for the 6th time today. His 3rd walk to go along with a hit, and 2 times he has been hit by a pitch. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive to reach base this often. Of course, did a great job of that at Santa Barbara City College. We're at an OBP of 454. Absolutely incredible.
First and third, one out. That's going to bring up Liam Keithley. There's now some signs from Isaac Ocampo, the catcher, to his infield. Maddox Mandino standing on deck, the top of the order. LaBarbera, first pitch, and a big swing from Keithley on the high fastball. Get some cheers from the first base dugout where the Sturs are located, 0-1. Keithley, he's got a pair of hits today, scored 2 runs and brought home a run. Dalmore at third, Gambardella at first. 0-1 pitch, and that's down and away on a slider, 1-1. Every Santa Barbara Forester has recorded 1 hit today, and everyone has scored at least 1 run.
I think it'd be pretty easy to do with 17 runs on the board so far. Probability just suggests it happened.
1-1, another slider down in the dirt. It's ball 2. Hudson LaBarbera has walked his last 3 batters that he's faced. And for Santa Barbara, the road trip will continue after an off day tomorrow, the first one of the year, then 3 more on the road before 3-game homestand to round out next week. So the Sturs will be coming back home. Be sure to come on out to Santa Barbara High School. Support the local Sturs as the 2-1 pitch. This time the slider is located 2-2.
Way to get back in the count here for LaBarbera.
LaBarbera has walked 3 straight. Only a single out on the scoreboard, top of the 8th. 11-run lead for the Sturs. 2-2. On a breaking ball, it's fluttered and flared up down the right field line and slicing foul. No play for Del VR. First baseman tried to make a play at it. Ran out of real estate. 2-2.
You see why Keithley was tempted by that breaking ball, just hung up in the zone, but was just a little too late and a little too under it to be able to make any sizable contact.
And Hudson LaBarbera glares over to the man at first base. Gambardella's over there. 2-2 pitch. Keithley flares it up towards the first baseman, and he will make the catch, and the runners will hold. And Keithley is retired. 2 out in the 8th.
Very similar to the swing before, just a little too late, a little too under it. Just stayed fair, though, went right to the first baseman.
And now for the 7th time today, Maddox Mandino is in the top spot of the order, stands at the plate. First and third, 2 out. First pitch is a fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Wanted all of that one, Mandino. His 1 career home run at Louisiana Lafayette, excuse me.
Swung at the first pitch. Here comes the 0-1 to Maddox. On the ground to the second baseman, has to back up into the hole. Ranges over to his left, and the throw to first will be in time. Mandino, in his 7th plate appearance of the day, grounds out to second, and the side retired. But the Sturs tack on 1 more. Bottom of the 8th we go. The lead 17-5 for Santa Barbara.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a 3rd-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the 8th inning. MLB Academy, Compton, California. Noah Waldeck, who entered in the last inning in relief for the Stars, back out on the hill. The Stars leading 17-5. Bottom of 8.
Yeah, it looked a little shaky at times, but I think, the bases loaded. It's not really representative of how he looked on the mound. He did a lot of good job forcing some weaker contact. It's just some of the Foresters infielders struggled a bit with the balls. Of course, the inning ended on the double play. So it shows that he can do a good job of forcing those weak contacts as a pitcher.
Waldeck will face 5-6-7 in the bottom of the 8th. Del Villar will stand in. Bats from the right side. Here's the pitch. And the right-handed reliever fires a sizzling fastball, missing high and in, ball 1. And Santa Barbara well on their way, picking up their first victory against the Barons this year, leading 17-5. Played 3 games last year, winning 2 of the 3. Here's the 1-0 as fly ball into right field, slides over as Brenton Clark fights the sun and makes the squeeze. A comfortable play for the right fielder. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
Great play there by Brenton Clark. It's always tough with the sun in your eyes. It's kind of shifting over to the western side of the skyline here, right where Clark is looking into. But he's got the shades on. He put his hand up and he made the snag.
Infield playing straight away. And here comes the first pitch to Hunter Backstrom. Then he fouls off the first pitch directly behind the plate, halfway up the backstop. And Waldeck, who's in his second inning, if we don't see him, we'd likely see Elliot Gallegos finish out this game in the 9th if Waldeck just goes 2. Here's the 0-1, and the fastball just misses away. Ball and a strike to Hunter Backstrom, who's gone 0 for 3. The number 6 batter for the Barons. These two teams will get well acquainted with each other playing next week as well. The 1-1, fastball this time clipping the outer plate. Outer half for strike 2. We talked about all the hits for the Stars today. Santa Barbara pitching has limited the Barons to 8 knocks. Here's the 1-2. Off speed will miss down 2-2. And no, it looks like they're saying he went around on the check swing and he's going to strike out. So Backstrom goes down swinging, second out in the 8th, and I think the Baron fans in attendance were too happy with that call, but 2 gone.
I don't think they were either, but great job for Waldeck to get that strikeout. Confidence booster for the right-hander.
Here's the first pitch. The third batter he faces induces a fly ball, high fly ball in the right center field. Mandino and Clark converge, but it's the right fielder Clark to make the squeeze in the gap, and Waldeck faces the minimum in the 8th. Well done for the relievers. We roll to the 9th. Stars lead 17-5 over the Barons. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
There's a new arm entering as we head to the 9th for the MLB Academy Barons. J.J. Nolan plays his college ball in nearby Cal State Dominguez Hills. Just finished off his sophomore year, enters to pitch the 9th, and he'll face 2, 3, and 4.
Nolan got used a bit there over at Cal State. Dominguez Hills with the Toros, 9 innings. Kind of mostly used as a bullpen arm, the righty. Very impressive as a high school pitcher, sub-4 ERA. Good strikeout stuff as well. But struggled a bit with command with the Toros. 10 walks to 3 strikeouts over 10 innings. Over 9 innings, excuse me.
He's going to be the 6th man out of the bullpen today after Braden Wellen seems like a long time ago started off this game only going an inning and a third. So here is Sawyer Farr to lead off the 9th. Santa Barbara leading 17-5. Here's the first pitch, and the switch hitter who bats from the left side will take a fastball down, ball 1. Sawyer stands in for the 7th time today. He has reached base on 4 of the 6 times he has stood in already today. Here's the 1-0. It's going to be a fastball on the outside edge, 1-1. 1 walk along with 3 hits, and he has brought home 2 runs. After Farr will be Muma and then Hoover. Here's the 1-1. That's down the dirt, skips past him the gap, backstop, 2-1. And Santa Barbara will be just 3 outs away. Whether it will be Noah Waldeck to finish this game or Elliot Gallegos, who might get his first appearance of the year for the Foresters to close out this game. 2-1 is a swing and a miss. It was a slider that time from Nolan, 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, Gallegos was supposed to pitch on Friday, so maybe the coaching staff will try and get him in there for an inning to make sure he gets some work this weekend.
Yeah, with the off day to make Gallegos in there, but now the 2-2 to Farr, and it's going to miss well away. And Nolan wiping off his hand. Looks like fastball just got away from him. Missing well away at belt height to Sawyer Farr. The count now full to the leadoff man. Here comes 3-2 pitch. It is away, ball 4. And for the 5th time today, Farr aboard working his 2nd walk of the afternoon.
The 5th time today, you say? I mean, very, very impressive stuff. And we know Farr likes to be aggressive, although I do think at this point, probably should just keep him, not send the runners. 12-run advantage to Santa Barbara.
But that'll bring to the plate the lefty bat of Muma. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outer half for a strike. 0-1. And the Sturs, as we do look ahead in the coming road trip, or I should say the continuation of this 6-game road trip to start the year. The man at first, nobody out. The 0-1 pitch. Changeup will miss away. 1-1. First opposition of, I should say, the first game against Arroyo Seco will be on Tuesday. Back to Conejo and right back here to MLB Academy to round out the road trip to start this year. So 2 familiar opponents that the Sturs have already faced. But the 1-1 breaking ball misses away, ball 2.
Yeah, and that Saints team beat the Barons last night 8-1 over in Pasadena. So Saints could be a team to keep an eye on as the season progresses.
That was the first loss of the year for the Academy. Here's the 2-1, and that's going to be located on the outer half on the changeup, 2-2. For the Sturs, who entered in this game through the first 2 games on base percentage as a team, .460. It's going to only increase with today. Here's the 2-2. High fly ball, more flared up, falling into left field, and falls for a base hit for Easton Muma. Make it 3 hits on the day for the third baseman. He's aboard for the 4th time, along with a walk.
It's just what he does. Gets on base, gets hits.
Number 14, Caleb Hoover.
And when you're running through the lineup for the 7th time, pretty good thing for your on-base percentage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It means you're doing something right.
First and second, nobody out. Top of the 9th, 17-5, the Forester lead. Here's the pitch. Fastball missing away at the knees to Caleb Hoover, who has been aboard 3 times, 2 hits, a double, and has been hit by a pitch. It was great for Caleb, who had all those walks yesterday. Pick up 2 hits today. Here's the 1-0. We've noted that broken hand just at the start of this month, started seeing live ABs for the first time. Actually, not even live ABs, swinging for the first time since mid-April. So always a little bit of adjustment time getting back into the swing of things, seeing live ABs and getting your summer off and running. It's ahead in the count, the 2-0. Going to spit on it, but takes a fastball for a strike.
The month of May wasn't only just, rehabbing that broken hand for Caleb. He also committed to the University of South Carolina to continue his playing career after a very successful freshman year at the JUCO Grayson College over down in the South.
2-1 is in there for a strike. 2-2. Well-located pitch from Nolan, and rightfully so. Well-deserved, committing to South Carolina after the numbers that he produced this past season at Grayson. First and second. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled off into the ravine to the left over the heads of everyone in the third base dugout. Remains 2-2. Slugging over 800, on-base percentage over 500 at Grayson College this year. School that is located in Denison, Texas, as he is a Texas native. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip back into the glove. Chasing the changeup away in the zone. Hoover goes down swinging. 1 out in the 9th. And that's going to bring up Brenton Clark. Clark, 3 hits for him and a walk today. Still, runners at first and at second. 17-5. Santa Barbara lead. Here's the pitch. The lefty batter rolls it over into the hole left side, and it gets through for a base hit. Brenton Clark, 4th knock of the day.
Another one where he just kind of gets it over to the opposite field. That time a little bit of an infield hit, but just was unable to be fielded by the Barron shortstop, Akiyama. Brings up Easton Ruley.
Bases loaded for Easton. A run in, 1 out. Here's the pitch. And Ruley will see a fastball behind him. It's ball 1. Ruley today. 2 walks, 2 hits, 4 runs batted in. And he's plated 2 runs as well. 17-5 the score. On a day that has been picture perfect. And note, too, that Ruley using a torpedo bat right now. Big swing and a miss on the high fastball, 1-1. We've seen manager Pintard, especially in the early practice days before the season started, brought in some torpedo bats for the Stars to test out. And that's always, especially at the start of the season, Nate, big topic and discussion in Major League Baseball. The bases loaded, 1 out. The 1-1 is a breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, the torpedo bat's been a bit of contentious thing, You saw the Yankees use them, obviously. Pintard works in his as a scout for the Yankees organization, so it makes sense that they're utilizing it. Very innovative piece of technology that is yet to be outlawed by the big wigs over at the MLB.
Big wigs. And currently 2-2 for Easton Ruley, with the torpedo lumber in hand. Can you bring home a couple more? He's already scored, I should say brought home 4. The 2-2 is a breaking ball. He reaches for it, slices it out of play on top of the clubhouse down that right field line.
And Pintard was definitely very excited about it.
Oh, he was, yes.
First day of practice, he pointed it out to all the interns. He was like, hey, you guys, we got the torpedo bats. I'm pretty sure he said they were invented by a Foresters alum as well, which is very, very cool.
And the alums for the Foresters so distinguished in all aspects of this game. The 2-2 fouled off again down the right field line. Looks like maybe a chance. It's going to stay fair down the right field line, making the catch and then tagging up at third base will be Sawyer Farr, and it's going to be a sacrifice fly for Easton Ruley. 5 runs, Forester lead.
And now every inning but one with the Foresters run attached to it. The only inning being a scoreless 6 that they did get runners in scoring position on. So just an absolute onslaught from the bats of the Foresters.
That's going to bring up Brady Dallimore. First and second, 2 out. Here's the pitch from Nolan. Is a fastball, and it's popped up and back behind the first base dugout. over our heads for strike one. Brady today, 2 walks, a double, RBI, and a run scored. J.J. Nolan, 6th man out of the pen, delivers the 0-1, which is roped foul outside of first base, directly on the ground. Strike 2.
Unlucky for Dallimore. That one just made it across the foul line.
Should Brady reach, catcher Gambardella stands on deck. But the wind's picking up out towards right. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball will miss down from J.J. Nolan. Ball 1. And in the bottom of the inning MLB, we'll have 8, 9, and 1 scheduled. And just be a question of whether it will be Waldeck to finish this game or maybe bringing Elliot Gallegos as a third arm out of the pen today. Comes the 1-2 pitch. And the slider will miss down and away to Brady Dallimore. 2-2. In this righty-righty matchup. Here comes the pitch. Check swing, misses away. Count now full. Dallimore already has 2 walks. He's got 3 on the year now. 18-5 the score. Santa Barbara attacking on 1 more in this inning. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's going to skip in for ball 4. 4th time today, Brady's aboard. A 2-out walk given up by Nolan, and the Sturs are going to load up the bases in the 9th inning.
Yeah, I did have the open base there, but, at this point, all the runs just added on are just a cherry on top of a very layered offensive cake, if we're going to continue the metaphor for the Foresters.
21 hits in this ball game. Here's the first pitch to Gambardella into left center field. It's another knock for the Sturs. They're going to plate 1, looking to plate 2 more. And the Sturs tack on 2 more runs in the 9th. 20-5 now the score. Gambardella brings home 2 runs. He advances down to second base. It's 20-5 to bring up Liam Keithley.
So impressive from Santa Barbara. Absolutely. Very, very impressive stuff for the Sturs.
If Keithley's able to reach, Mandinos waits on deck for his 8th plate appearance. Here's the first pitch. It's going to be in there on a fastball, strike 1. Keithley today, 2 base hits in his first start as a Stur.
I mean, already, this is more runs that the Sturs have put up in today's game than they ever did in any game last year.
This is up the middle towards the shortstop, ranging to his left, can't make the play. It's deflected off his glove. 1 run comes in. That might go down as an E6. But another run will come in to score as the shortstop ranged to his left. Couldn't make a clean play, and reaching base will be Liam Keithley. So Keithley aboard. And that's going to bring up Maddox Mandino, and it looks like it might go down as a hit for Keithley. And Mandino, now for the 8th time today, stands in. Runners on the corners, 21-5 the score. First pitch will skip into the catcher from J.J. Nolan.
It's a couple different times now where they've rewarded something as a hit that I feel like maybe could have been rewarded as an error, I mean, a little credit. And yes, they do actually rule that as an error on the scoreboard, just changed.
So a 2-out error to continue the inning, but this next pitch popped up by Mandino, and the shortstop will camp out under it in shallow left field to make the squeeze. Mandino in his 8th plate appearance will have a pop-up to the shortstop. But 4 more tacked on in the 9th inning for the Foresters, and we're going to the bottom of the 9th. The Sturs leading 21-5, and it looks like Gallegos out to the hill to finish off this game. The Sturs on top of the Barons.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Into the bottom of the ninth inning, the third game of the season for the Sturs, as they lead 21-5. They have scored in every inning except the sixth. On 3 occasions, they have scored 4 or more runs. And we will have a pitching change for the Sturs. Noah Waldeck ended up going 2, and now enter the UC Santa Barbara Gaucho, Elliot Gallegos, to make his first appearance of the summer.
Yeah, this is the final Gaucho we'll see out of the pitching staff this season. The other 3 put the bar pretty high for Gallegos.
He's going to face 8, 9, and 1. Here's the first pitch. It's chopped over to the shortstop. Rulli charges in, and a nice throw to first. And 1 pitch by Gallegos, and he will retire Isaac Ocampo, 1 away in the ninth.
Quick outs are always a nice feeling. Of note, of a stat we brought up in the top half of this inning, this is the most amount of runs scored by the Forsters in over 4 years. You have to go back to the 2021 season against the Halos for the last time you saw this many runs scored by a Forsters team.
21 today. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be a fastball missing high and away to DJ Akiyama, the 9-hole hitter. DJ today has gone 2 for 3, but on the hill with Gallegos, just finished up his redshirt senior year. The elder statesman on this team, the 0-1 will miss away on the changeup 1-1. And Gallegos 6 appearances on the year with the UCSB Gauchos.
Of course, that 2021 team that set this previous, that has the previous, run record, went on to win the NBC World Series. So good history there for the Sturs.
Third pitch from this down and away on a fastball, 2-1, yes, and that's what all these games are about, especially still a lot of the team not even here. The pitching staff is pretty resolute, a lot of good arms, but with the offense putting up 22, and you still have more offensive guns, so to speak, coming, as the next pitch will end up hitting DJ Akiyama. It would have been ball 4 on a 3-0 count. Akiyama will be reaching for the 3rd time today. It's going to bring around the top of the order in Williams.
Yeah, Akiyama, 3rd time getting on today. He's on his 3rd stop at school. He currently is at Campbell University, previously played at Hawaii and Hartnell College. Of course, originally from the island of Oahu.
He will reach with 1 out. That's going to bring up Nathaniel Williams, and Gallegos will look for a ground ball to finish off this ball game. Here comes the first pitch as the lefty batter has a big old cut on a high fastball. It's nothing but air. Strike one.
Gallegos coming off of a season where he only allowed a batting average against of 200, easily the best mark of his career so far.
The 0-1. Missing well high. Nice pickup from Gambardella, springing high into his left. Snare that high fastball. It's 1-1 with Williams today. Going 2 for 4 at the plate, standing in for the 5th time against Santa Barbara pitching. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's going to miss away, and this ball game started with just past 1 o'clock local time. Kahalikai got the start today for the Sturs. Fino came in relief. Waldeck, and it's now Gallegos. The 2-1 pitch is drilled into right. Drifting back is Brenton Clark, and it's over his head at the wall. Williams is rounding second. He's thinking 3 in from first base. Akiyama will score. It's going to be an RBI triple for Williams. And the Barons have their first run since the 7th, and it's now 21-6, the score in the 9th.
Great hit right there for the Barons. Reaches the warning track over the head of Brenton Clark out and right. Tough to give up for Gallegos.
That's going to bring up Antonio Lujan. 1 hit today. 1 for 3 with a walk. He has a man at third base. Now the double play not in effect with no one at first base. 2 out in the 9th. 1 out, rather. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss late on the fastball. Strike 1.
Sitting breaking ball. We've seen a lot of Foresters pitchers at the start of this season bring out the breaking ball as their first pitch to the off speed, try and throw off the batters, and clearly that's what Lujan was sitting on there.
0-1. Fastball, high fly ball in the right, drifting back is Clark. It looks like he has enough real estate right at the warning track, makes the squeeze, but tagging up at third is Williams, and 2 runs now being played by the Barons in the 9th. The sacrifice fly by Antonio Lujan, but the second out is recorded, and the Stars look for 1 more to finish off this game against the Barons.
That's what I was going to say. Crucially, they gets the second out. Of course, the run comes across the plate, but with a hit like that into the outfield, kind of expect it to happen.
And that is where the winds are drifting. You see those balls just continue to rise, and Brenton Clark does well to judge the win. The American flag straight away, dead in the right. But now with the bases clear, 2 gone, here's Gavin Taylor. First pitch is a fastball high and look out. Reflexes back as it was high and tight. Ball 1. Taylor today has gone 0 for 3, has reached on a walk, occurred in the 7th. 1-0 pitch, another high ball inside, having to turn away from it. Ball 2. Elliot Gallegos, 3rd man out of the pen today. After Kaimi Kahalikai got the start for Santa Barbara, his first appearance. Here's the 2-0 pitch, check swing. It looked like that was a fastball. It missed high. Gambardella tried to bring it home.
3rd pitch above the zone for Gallegos.
And actually, every pitcher today making their Forster debut this afternoon. 2 out, 3-0 pitch is going to miss upstairs. Ball 4 and a 4-pitch, 2-out walk to continue this ball game for the Barons. And Taylor, for the 2nd straight plate appearance, will reach base on balls.
4-pitch walk. Do too much there.
That's going to bring up Jake Klinowski. 1 for 3 day with a walk. Trying to continue this ball game a little bit more for the Barons. This Gallegos looking for 1 more out. The Stars leading 21-7 in the 9th. Here's the pitch. Fastball high and away, and 4 straight balls from Gallegos. Gives a little turn of his head, saying, last couple missing. Trying to locate here. And here comes the delivery. This time it's in there. 1-1.
Way to find the zone. Get back in there for Gallegos, just so crucial. Just 1 out away from ending it.
1 out away from going into the off day on Monday before they will continue this road trip with 3 more straight road games. The 1-1 pitch is going to be a breaking ball missing down for ball 2. And notably, new opponent coming up on Tuesday, the Arroyo Seco Saints in Pasadena. 2-1 pitch is sawed off behind the backstop out of this entire complex. And the Barons down to their final strike on Sunday, June 8th, 2025. 21-7 the score in favor of the Sturs. 2 out, 2-2 pitch up the middle and line to the second baseman Liam Keithley, and there is our ball game. The Sturs take it 22 hits, and they bring home 21 runs to take it 21-7 over the Barons.
Yeah, and a word to describe this game, long. First pitch at 1:05. We just wrapped up here 3.5 hours later, but that's for good reason. The offense was absolutely on fire today, Hunter. 22 hits, 21 runs. You got a lot of guys getting extra base hits. You got a lot of guys getting their first hits of the season. So a great way to end the 3-game start of the season. I think also an improvement on the mound. Tyler Finau especially was really impressive, going 9 up, 9 down in the middle part of that game. All around, great effort from the Sturs, and momentum is on their side heading into the off day tomorrow.
Once again, the final score 21-7. Every Forester recorded at least 7 ABs. Maddox Mandino recorded 8. Every Stur had at least 1 hit. Every Forester played it at least 1 run. What a day it was for the bats and the pitching as well. You just said it, Tyler Finau. Perfect 3 innings, struck out 3, and the Sturs moved to 3-0 in CCL play the off day tomorrow. But we'll be back in action on Tuesday, 6:05 first pitch, local time, down in Pasadena against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Be sure to tune in to the Forester Radio Network on Tuesday, 6 o'clock Pacific. So for the entire team, the entire front office, for Nate Martin, I am Hunter Shoemake, saying so long from Compton, California. And we'll see you on Tuesday when the Sturs are back in action.
6:05. Be sure to give